coasting. All my niggas, we coasting. High grade, we smoking. On the highway, we rolling. Crack a bottle, we toasting.
Anyways, welcome to another episode of Weed and Whiskey. We're here with your two favorite hosts. I'm your host, O'Shane. Follow me on Instagram at @grain_.
And this is your other co-host, Quell. You can follow me on Instagram at @MattQuell. But most importantly, follow our podcast page at weed.whiskey.
With an E.
Like a white people party.
And then, most importantly, we have a long-awaited, a favorite. We've been waiting to have this man in here.
That's a fact.
And when he introduced himself, I want him to give us his many aliases. So please, my good brother, give us the pleasure of introducing yourself.
We here, man. You already know, man. It's your boy King Hoff, a.k.a. Empire Esco. Let's go, man. Mr. Ain't Shit. I'm so ain't shit. I'm the shit, baby. Fuck with me. The moist one. Ask your bitch why they call me the moist one, man. OG Thundercat in the building. RP the young guys. Pop Smoke. You feel me? Mr. Bitch rubbing my belly. I like that shit. Mr. You can't outroll me.
Oh.
Perky Pete is in the building, a.k.a. Perky Paul. You know, Mr. Fight on a fucking Friday. Mr. I suck on toes like your bitch suck on glizzies. You already know, man. We can keep going, but we gonna stop it right here. We gonna stop it right there.
Yo, I thank you. I needed that.
Yo, facts.
I needed that.
I think that was our best intro today.
It wouldn't have been an authentic appearance without having you introduce yourself proper. I feel like I wouldn't have done it justice.
Bro, sometimes I've been a guest on shows where I have to hit them with one name.
Nah, I need them all, bro.
Just because it not nothing against the show, but just the energy wasn't like, all right.
Nah, we need it all.
Nah, bro, we need all that.
We got that weed and whiskey energy in here, bro. We need it. We need that LIFECast podcast energy in here, bro. We need it all.
1/3 of Life is in the building. LIFECast podcast. Shout out to my brothers in pod. Mr. Fortunate, and it's just Mugga, the Chicago kid.
Let them know where they can follow you at, man.
Oh, follow me on Instagram at Empire Esco. Follow the show, more importantly, at LIFECast Podcast everywhere. I have a whole bunch of different handles for everything. Twitter, the Spaced Out Genius, Facebook, The King Hoff, Instagram, Empire Esco. And I don't got no other social media. I got Snapchat too. Yo. Snapchat is Hoff with the Benny. Follow me on Snapchat.
This man does it all.
Yeah, facts. Yo, before we get it started, I wanted to say happy birthday, blessed earth strong to the late and great Nipsey Hussle.
Yes, sir.
Today is his birthday, man. So we're going to shout that out.
Yes, sir. Hey, I want to thank you, brothers, for having me up here. I really do appreciate y'all reaching out and having me come on the show. Definitely wanted to get on the show for a while now. I love what you guys got going on over here. Your content, subject matter, just you two as, on-air personalities is dope. Yeah, energy is dope, and I appreciate y'all for having me up here, man. I really, truly do appreciate it.
Thank you,
got to get
man.
you guys up on the LIFECast.
Oh,
too,
definitely.
Yes, we would love to, yo, because honestly, we're trying to build a family over here, and we definitely want a bunch of as much members and brothers and sisters a part of our family, and we definitely see you guys as our elder brothers and in terms of our podcast in arms. Because you guys been around, you've been doing this for a while now. It's been 5 years, 6 years?
We going on 5 years, February 8th. No, I'm lying. I'm thinking about the business. The podcast is going on 5 years in April 20th. That's gonna be our 5-year anniversary.
Oh, okay.
Okay, see, half a decade. That's long standing to us. That's really good because
consistency, man.
That's what we base our podcast around, consistency. We want to always produce content for the loyal listeners that's out there, even if it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no matter who's listening. We always want them to be able to click on every week to be like, all right, my boys got some new content. We look up to you guys. We follow you guys in terms of advice, where we can get resources, and honestly, you guys never disappoint with all the information you give us. So that's another reason we had to get you on here, because it's a must, man.
Yeah, definitely. We got to pick your brain about this podcast thing too a little bit.
Definitely. I got nothing but gems for anybody, man. My gems is free game for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
People be telling me like, yo, you should be charging niggas for all the info you be giving niggas. You done help so many motherfuckers start their podcast or start their platform, etc., etc. And I'm just like, nah, man. I remember when we were starting up in this podcast game, we reached out to a bunch of different people just trying to get just some sort of information on how we can get started. And it really came down to us having to go out there and get the information ourselves, you know what I mean? And that shit was hard. it was hard. You feel me? Like we was paying in the early days $1.50 an episode just to get niggas to record and edit our shit, and we would still have to wait like a week just to get our shit. So we had to push back release dates and you know all that shit. So it was a fucking terror, my nigga. Headache early in the game.
$1.50. Damn,
yeah,
bro.
my nigga. But we learned our shit. You know what I mean? And now the way I see it, I'm like, yo, I don't want to have anybody else have to go through all of that shit just to start off.
It's funny because
So,
you
you
said
know,
that
like-
because you're the reason why we're not paying somebody else to record our episodes right now.
Because he told me what you told him. Like, yeah, he's like, just do your own shit, bro. Like,
Your own shit, my nigga. It's so much. It's like just in this business game, period, in general, my nigga. Like the more you can do in house, the less of a headache you gonna have.
Everything
everywhere
with
else, you
everything.
feel
Cut
me?
the middleman out.
Cut the middleman out. Even if it's like producing your own merch, like even like right now, my nigga. Little side swoop, but right now I'm waiting. We've been waiting about a good when we dropped the mask probably like a month ago, top of July. So we've been waiting a little over a month for the second wave of our merch to touch down. You feel me? Just because we decided to go out of the house and do it, as opposed to doing in-house type shit.
It's
You feel
tough,
me?
like, because it's like you kind of take away some demand from yourself, so it's like less
Yeah.
work and more to focus on what your main priorities.
Exactly.
But now then you have to depend and rely on the timing of other people, and not everybody have the same work ethic or the same work
Exactly.
schedule as you do.
well, your
So-
shit just don't even matter to them.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's what I think about it. Because
That's how I see it.
these niggas hit us with a motherfucker. Like when we inquire about this shit, niggas hit us with the same ass fucking lame ass excuses. You feel me? Oh, pandemic, so we short staffed, blah blah blah. But yeah, we watching other people who order from you within a shorter
Getting they
time frame
shit.
from us getting they shit. Like we know who you supply. You know what I'm saying? So you don't got to front with us. Like just tell niggas what it's hitting for. Like just because our order is not X amount of
So you don't
pieces,
prioritize.
you feel
Yeah.
me? Like it's not a priority to y'all. Like just say that.
Yeah.
So I can go somewhere else, like get my bread back, and I just go somewhere else and get my shit. Cause
Instead, they on the hold
you know
up
what
type
I mean?
shit.
Yeah, like I'm trying to, just like you guys said, consistency. You feel me? I want to stay consistent. Like we dropped the mask. The goal was to drop the next piece of merch at least within a week. You know what I mean?
But that
And just
didn't work out.
continuously drop pieces every week. You know what I mean? And stay consistent with dropping merch, limited pieces, etc., etc. Like the mask, we already sold out of the mask.
Yeah, those is
Niggas
gonna
is
go
waiting
quick.
For the fucking hats now.
Yeah, those is gonna
You
go
dig what
quick.
I'm saying?
And
Like,
I wanted
niggas
a
waiting
hat.
for the
I'm waiting
fucking
on a
merch.
hat
Like,
myself.
That's what I'm trying to say. So it's like niggas need the shit because people is asking for this shit. It's not
Facts.
like, it'd be different if nobody was asking for the shit.
Facts.
Like, we got people asking for like.
So
yo,
now
where's
that's
the
making
merch?
your brand lose credibility as well too.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So anything you could do in house, do it, man. If you got the motherfucking 300 between you and your co-host, or even just between you to get a cutter, printer, fucking. Get you a mic bundle, any of that shit.
All
Get
that
it.
shit. Just
Do
get what
it.
you need.
Spend
Honestly.
that bread. Spend it once. You never have to worry about
Spend it
spending
again.
You dig
Yo.
what I'm saying?
There's one thing I noticed about this just podcast space. It's just, yo, you just have to do it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to it. You just do it, because if you don't, it's just a personal thing. It's like you're the salesman for your brand.
Exactly.
You have to be the salesman for your brand. So if you don't do anything, if you rely on other people, if you're gonna sit back and wait for for the bread to stack up or whatever, if things not gonna get done the way you want it to, and in turn it could not work out for you.
Exactly, my nigga. That's and people and people don't realize that shit. Like, with just doing it. You know what I mean? Like, just if you like, if more people who wanted to do podcasting or just anything in general, just anything in life, just got up and decided to do it, it'll be crazy, like mind blowing how far people will go. You dig what I'm saying? If they just jumped on and do this shit. All right, fuck it. You want to like people like I know people who are waiting to start their podcast because they want to get the proper equipment. It's like, my nigga, you can use your iPhone.
I was about to say,
To
bro,
record
that's
a fucking
where'd you
podcast.
think we started at? We
That's
started
what I'm
recording
saying.
ourselves on
Like,
an iPhone.
Real
That's how we
shit.
started. Like we told ourselves, it's like, yo, bro, we talked about this for a year. If we started when we said we was gonna start, we could have been a year in right now.
Year in, exactly.
So it's like even if it was just getting decent quality audio out there, just so people could have something to gravitate to, that'd have been great. So we would have been learning along the way, honestly, because you don't learn until you start doing. You can sit here and speculate and try to get advice from everybody, but you won't learn anything to actually dive in and realize that, all right, this is how I actually swim. This is how I kick my feet. This is how I put my hands. You like somebody telling you all these things just gonna add other speculations and what ifs to your brain and just prolong it. And no need to that.
Exactly, man. Ain't no need for none of that.
Ain't no need
shit,
for that.
bro.
We out here just doing shit, man.
I'm definitely adopting white baby,
Just
bro.
like you said, going, huh? You said you about to adopt a white baby?
Yeah, man.
I mean,
All this talk about doing what you want to do, bro, I'm definitely doing that shit.
Hey, do it, my nigga. Take advantage of that white privilege if you got to.
Yo, see?
Nah,
he
like,
get
I
it
get it,
immediately.
man.
Immediately.
Take
How you
advantage
feel
of
about
that
it? Would you
privilege.
adopt a white baby?
I wouldn't adopt any kids at all, to be honest.
I'm with
I
that.
don't want kids, you know what I mean?
You don't want no kids?
Nah, I don't want no kids.
Why not?
And listen, I got
Too
kids,
much,
bro.
man.
I understand.
like with me, I never wanted kids because I feel like kids slow you down from accomplishing your ultimate goals in life. You feel me?
Okay, it's
And
perspective.
When I say that shit, people get mad at me.
Nah, I hear
Like,
you.
what
I get
mean,
you.
nigga,
I hear
got
you.
kids, like,
Because I can see
how
both
many
sides
people-
of it.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, I get you have kids, you still doing what you do, but imagine what you were able to do if you
Without
didn't have
those
to
kids.
worry about the kid. And I'm not even talking about the financial aspect of
Just the caring
Yeah.
and the
caring
well-being.
aspect.
and
If you're a
all
real
that.
parent.
Yeah, like if you're a real
They
parent,
take
like,
up most of your time.
exactly. I'm talking like if your kid's not in school, literally from the morning until nighttime, you have to worry about that little nigga.
Facts.
Yeah.
You can't worry about shit else. Like, yeah, you got
Even when they're at school,
you gotta
even
do
at
the-
school, you still
Exactly,
have
like,
to worry about them
God
niggas.
forbid a little nigga get sick at school. Now you gotta leave work to go pick them up, etc., etc. Then even if you have like a good
Financial income.
what's that shit? A good family
Oh,
dynamic with your
Yeah,
parents
your
and
job.
everybody else, so people can like watch your kids for you. Niggas ain't gonna watch your kids every day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you trying to be Jeff Bezos, or if you trying to be the next motherfucking Tyler Perry, or you trying to be the next like
Oprah.
or Diddy, you know what I'm saying? Like or Hove, you feel what I'm saying? Like it having like no
Both had kids late.
they all exactly. I was just about to say that all of them had kids.
They
Later
got to
in
where
their
they wanted
career,
first
once got
before
to
they did.
a certain price point in
My-
their life type shit.
My thing about that is, and I respect your opinion because, you know what I mean? I get you 100% because when I had my son, you got to lock down. There's certain shit I had to cut out of my life, which would have been like, yo, listen, I can't do that no more, which maybe would have took me in a different path, and maybe I would have been doing this earlier, or maybe I probably would have be able to stack more bread and shit like that.
Mhm.
But I know I can speak for a lot of parents where it's like, when you get that child, your mind is in a different state where the grind is like, yo, you have a forever grind now because, like you said, all you do is worry about that child.
Mhm.
So now your mind switched to now, I'm not trying to get it right now. I'm trying to get it for forever.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, yeah, I've heard that before where people be like, yo, kid's just gonna slow you down, man. You're just gonna be stuck.
I will
in
say
that cycle.
I will say this. As harsh it might sound, kids do slow some people down.
No, they do. That's why I'm 100%. Like, that's why I can agree with that because
and parents, a lot of parents have like my brothers. They all got kids. You know what I'm saying? And like they.
Oh, you mean you was in this together? Because it's like Quell said, he has a child, so I'm the only one who doesn't have a child in this situation as well too. So it's like we both, our heads is in the same place, but our timing isn't.
that's what it is. It's time. It's
That's
time.
what it
Like
is.
real
Time.
shit. Say motherfucking who's y'all like number one guest? Like that's the one person y'all would want to have on this show if you could. Like right now they hit you. It's a go. We going.
Celebrity wise or just anything?
Anybody.
Anybody.
For me, it's J. Cole.
J. Cole. So J. Cole called right now, yo, I'm in the city. I'm about to be out. I'm at the studio for the next
Exactly.
4 hours. Can y'all come through and record? Not even J. Cole, but his manager or somebody. He in the studio. He want to record with y'all. Could y'all make it? Would you be able to go to the city right now?
If it's the
You feel me?
person that I
Like-
want to work with, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm taking him with me.
You want to take the kid with you?
taking him with
I
me.
respect that.
I'm taking him with me.
That.
Because-
I respect that.
Because at this point, he gotta know subconsciously that you gotta take whatever you gotta do to go get your moment.
Word.
So you gotta go.
I respect that because I'm not gonna hold you. I've gotten answers where it's like, yo, well, nigga, I got my kid at home. Like if you're not with your girl, who's gonna watch the kid? Or I gotta go pick my kid up from my mom's or et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
So it's like niggas can't just go to the city on the
Exactly.
whim
They
and
can't
then
just
come
stop
back
what
at
they're
4
doing.
o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? So all of those things kind of like having a kid kind of limits all those opportunities for us. Like those on the fly, just like, oh, motherfucking Cali hit you. Like Cali hit you. He want to record. He in Cali though. Niggas got to get a quick flight to Cali. Can you go to Cali for 2 days on a fucking
I get
Wednesday?
you. I get you.
You know what I mean?
get
Like all these opportunities could like propel you to
Mhm.
different to a whole different fucking level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So missing out on shit like that just because you got a little one at home. And granted, once they get up to an age where they can take care of
It's
themselves,
easier.
It's easier. It's different from where it was because I'm pretty sure y'all niggas growing up. Me and my brother was taking care of ourselves when we was 7, 8 years old. We was
Fact.
in the house cooking, cleaning for ourselves while my mom and dad was at work.
Yeah, facts.
They're gonna say my brother is 1 year younger than me type shit. We ain't have
Facts.
nobody older taking care of us. We took care of ourselves. Nowadays, though, you can't leave a 9-year-old
Facts, because they're not
alone.
capable. They not,
I don't
they
understand
don't-
how they're not capable, because if
Nah,
you
they
raise your
are, but
fucking
it's just-
child,
they're
they
lazy.
should be able to take care of
But it's
shit
a
at home.
so honestly, like,
or at least take care of themselves. Like your child should be at 9 years old. You should be able to survive for 24 hours with no
They should,
adult
bro.
supervision.
like I would say
real
this, like
shit.
my nephews, like they the type they will sit here and stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning and play video games and then sleep till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, but I would say this, they have it in them because they have younger siblings that's at least close to like almost a decade younger than them. So now they have that responsibility to, like, all right, when mom is at work and dad is at work, I have to make sure they stay quiet. I have to make sure they good. I have to watch them when they have to run out and do stuff because they're at that age now. I have it instilled in them. I feel like a lot of kids, their priorities is just not where ours used to be at all. It's no alignment in where ours used to be.
Hey, yo, bro,
I
I got
definitely
myself
agree.
up for school every day
That's what I'm.
for a long time.
Nah,
My
that's
mom was at
fact.
work.
Nigga.
Like, bro, she
Yeah.
would call the house and wake me up.
Facts.
Get up and go to school.
Call
Clothes
the
already
house.
out.
Facts.
You glad you got that. You dig what I'm saying?
You
Like,
gotta walk myself to
you gotta
school every
get up.
day.
You
Yeah.
just had to get up like on some real shit. When we came to, cause we used to live in Jersey before this, you know what I'm saying? And me and my brother, we literally had to walk a good 2-3 blocks in Jersey City, Bergen Ave. You dig? It was a very different. Like now, it looks beautiful out there. It's a very different city.
Gentrified.
Now, back in the day though, very differently. Like me and my brother walking through Jersey City by ourselves to get to school type shit. Like we had to wake ourselves up. My parents, like, cause my mom and dad was already at work, early morning type shit. They work
Facts.
early morning shifts. You feel me? So we had to get ourselves up. So that shit carried up over to Connecticut. You know, like we went to Windsor schools, but we lived in Hartford. So just so we didn't have to take the city bus as kids, you feel me? So they didn't get caught up with DCF. Me and my brother had to get up 4 a.m. and go to work with my dad. My dad would drop us off at the school. So we at the school for a solid hour. You dig what I'm saying? Chilling. That's when, you know, me and my brother did mischievous shit and, you know,
Facts.
cameras got
Yeah.
installed, but that's neither here nor there. But, you know what I mean? Like, we like, that's the shit that we had to do growing up. So, like, I don't understand, like, how children, I mean, like, again, I guess it's a different time, but if you a parent and you get into it, you should be
able to-
teaching your
yeah,
kids
facts.
to, you know,
Independence.
maintain themselves so you can get to it, or at least they know what it is to get to it. You know what I mean?
So as a
Like,
person without kids, what do you feel like the missing link is? What's your perspective on it? Have you put any thought into it or anything like that?
I think what it is people started having kids at a younger age, and with them having kids at a younger age, they weren't
Mentally prepared?
mentally prepared. Like they didn't have the same responsibilities as what their parents would say have. You feel what I'm saying? Like people having kids in high school. We all know a bunch of teen parents. You know what I mean? So people having kids in high school with no real responsibility, no real job, or no real household to maintain.
Also, we
So-
are also coming from like a generation where we had mothers who were house moms. We
Exactly.
had moms who
Well,
stayed at home.
I
Like
can
for me,
say
I can
that,
speak for
yeah.
that. My mom was my primary caretaker. Like I'm from Jamaica. I grew up a good life in Jamaica, so I understand what it means to wake up early in the morning, having to go do your chores before you even leave, and make sure you eat breakfast. Because God forbid you don't eat breakfast, you're gonna get yelled at for that. So
You never
nah,
eat.
you can't
Yeah,
leave without
facts.
eating.
Yeah.
So like you gotta wake up early enough to make your breakfast, do all the little chores that you have to do, and then you still have to get dressed and walk yourself to school after that. And then you have to walk home after that as well too. So I completely get where you're coming from that. But I had a mom who was my primary caretaker. My dad even went overseas just to bring money home for the family and whatnot. That was his primary job, just to provide. So my mom was the one who raised us, who taught us. My sister as well too, who did that. So I come from an era where I had a mom always at home to discipline me, to teach me and stuff like that. So nowadays, even moms nowadays, they're the go-getters. They're the breadwinners of the household as well too. That takes away from the nurturing that they usually do, and it also changes up how they go about their nurturing as well too. So I feel like that's a big impact on it as well.
True.
I like to go off on that. I think that's what's missing is the family aspect. It's just because nobody has a community, even if it's a small household. You know what I mean? Because like you said, it's you and your brother. Your parents is there, but they at work, but it's still you and your brother, and y'all chilling, and your parents gonna come back later, and they gonna teach y'all whatever y'all gotta teach. But you know what I mean? Like there's no real togetherness in a house no more.
Nah,
Nobody
now
has
it's just the mom, the child, and
Yeah.
Section 8.
yeah.
And whatever boyfriend mom's is dating at
And
the
the,
time.
and the dad and the
That
dad come
nobody
whenever
can
he
knows
feel
about
like
because
it.
if the state find out, they're gonna take Section 8
Yeah.
away.
And that's not every situation. Like, to be
No.
honest,
It's not.
No,
it's not. And,
it's
and
not.
I wouldn't even say that's.
But
like
it's
the, I
enough
wouldn't
to
even say
shine
that's
some
like
light
the
on.
vast majority. But it's definitely exactly. It's a large enough group. We definitely have to highlight that. But it's tough out here, man. Because just like niggas said, without that real family dynamic, because like my mother didn't really. My mother and father worked a lot growing up, You know what I mean? So I didn't really have like, we had this conversation on the show before. Like I would describe my father, like my mother, she was very present. You know what I mean? When she was not at work, she definitely, even when she was at work, she was a very present mother.
Mm.
But my dad, like, he was an absent father. You feel me? So it's like essentially growing up with it's like essentially I grew up with a father who wasn't really there as a father type shit. He was more there as
Just a
a
figure.
CEO. A disciplinary, you know what I mean? Like that's primarily what he did. Like my father didn't, like real shit. My father didn't teach me how to fight. I learned how to fight on the block.
Mm.
You feel what I
You
mean?
learn how to defend
Like,
yourself.
Yeah,
I
like
had
facts,
to
like-
defend myself
Yeah,
on some
facts,
shit.
facts.
Like,
Never got that sex talk.
Exactly. I definitely never had that sex talk. You did what I'm saying. Like when I had the sex talk, I was maybe 13, 14 or some shit like that. My mother found condoms in me and my brother's drawer. You feel me? They pulled us into the room and my mom was just like, yo, are you guys having sex? We're like, well, you found a condom. Obviously, yeah, we not playing with them. You know what I mean? She was like,
Not just blowing them like balloons.
as
you
long
know?
as you're
Yeah.
using protection, like that, she started getting down, like asking questions, like, "Are you guys doing like having oral sex?" Blah blah blah. Like at the time, like yo, I don't eat pussy, so no, I don't have oral sex. But girls do give me oral. You know, like we out here, like
Facts.
this is like I've been having sex since I was in Jersey. You feel what I mean? So it's like this is nothing. Like a lot of shit. Like that's like I think that's what the difference is now. Another reason is. So why kids are so sheltered now? It's like when we was growing up, like niggas was outside.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
facts.
was.
We was outside like 8, 9 years old outside with
Our
the
parents
older
was
niggas
forcing
on the
us to go
block. You
outside.
dig what
Yeah, you had to
I'm
go
saying? So,
outside though. You had
yeah,
to.
you
Like, go
feel
outside.
me?
Stop being in the
So-
house.
Like and it wasn't what you had to, because like again, my parents is at work, so it's like they expected us to be inside. We had the knocks, you know what I mean, the special knocks for whoever's coming over or whatever the situation may be. So like we was expected to be inside, but again, we like yo, we little niggas, we in the house. We like man, niggas ain't trying to be in
Nah,
the
that's
house.
facts. Because
So
my
we
older
outside,
cousins
you
the
know
same
what I
way
mean?
too. Like
exactly.
when
I
they
didn't
get
have
Everybody
so many
outside.
cousins around, so I was really outside with niggas on the block. Type
yeah,
shit.
that's how they was too.
So
like,
it's like-
they was in clubs by the time they're like 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
So they was drinking liquor, picking up guns and shit like that. So it's like a lot of that shit was nothing new for them as they get older. It's already the
Uh-huh.
lifestyle that was already
Exactly.
breeded in them already.
Yeah.
But our kids nowadays, I don't know, man,
They
because
can't
even
go
the ones that's
outside.
getting into it, they getting into it with like the wrong ideologies and the wrong intentions behind that shit,
You're-
yo.
Yo,
So
Yo,
it's
it's
like
crazy when
My
you
girl's-
see it now.
My
Yo.
girl's nephew is at the house right now, right? He's a little kid, yo. He's 8 years old. When I seen him at first, is the first time I seen him in person. I thought the little nigga was like 6, maybe 5. He's small as shit. When I asked him today how old he was, he said he was 8, my nigga. I looked at the nigga. And I looked at my nephews. They both 7. Looked at both of them niggas. They both bigger than this nigga. Looked at both of these niggas. I was like, yo, all right. Maybe I can see why me and this nigga kind of had to do certain things or be a certain way, because we was bigger than everybody when we was little.
yeah, they get smaller every year,
They're
yo.
small as shit now.
Yo,
my
but
nigga.
I
even
don't
even
even-
my nephews aren't as big as me. My brother was when we was little, my nigga. So it's like at 9 years old, I was a big nigga. You know what I mean? So it's like niggas I wasn't getting bullied by 9-year-olds, but it was older niggas who was coming from because I was almost their size, but I'm
Yeah.
a little kid. You feel me? So it's like niggas really had to learn a lot of shit at a young age, because you older niggas is who's approaching you. Older niggas is who's you
Facts.
talking to and who's you hanging with. Like I wasn't
Mhm.
hanging with niggas my age. When I came to Connecticut, I started hanging with my older cousin Corey and his older niggas. You feel me? Like I wasn't hanging. Like even now, like I got maybe one friend, 2 tops that's my age, that's close to me. Everybody else is way older than me, my nigga. It's like we when we was younger, we was always around the older niggas, and nowadays these little kids want to be on fucking TikTok and fucking YouTube and shit. They're not outside.
They're not
Yeah,
outside.
Put your
facts.
kids outside.
Not playing
Like
with
put your
wooden
kids
guns.
outside. Let them learn some shit. Make them go to the fucking corner store by themselves real
Facts.
quick.
Yeah.
Let
You
them fall
feel
off a
me?
bike.
Like,
Let them fall
come
off a
back.
bike.
If you come back, you be straight.
Nigga,
You know
what
I
nigga?
mean?
Back in the day, niggas had to gather up all the change to go to the
Yeah,
corner store
like,
and get some candy and shit.
Niggas
Like,
busting couches open and
Have-
shit,
what?
grabbing up quarters and nickels. Like,
I
man,
remember
as soon
one
as I got
time-
$1, you good.
I remember when my cousins gathered up 100 pennies. Cause you go to the corner store with $1 and
You get a lot.
ball.
You get like 4 bags. You
Nigga.
can get 2 bags of chips.
Yep.
And
Like
brown.
like 50 cent worth of candy.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
can
you
get-
and
you
you get
can
the
get a
motherfucking
juice.
the
25
penny
cent.
candy joints, the little
Facts.
25-cent bags, the 50-cent
Facts.
bags. I mean, you
Yup.
feel me?
Facts.
Come off.
Man, listen.
Come on, man. Back in the day was so different, man. But nowadays, child abductions is going up. So that's another reason why kids aren't outside. I get that. You know what I mean? So
Honestly, like,
it's different now, man.
do you feel like social media plays a part in that? How much the news broadcast that shit and everything?
I mean,
Because it's like, think about it, it's
listen, I'm not gonna give my opinion on the news. I don't want y'all niggas to get in trouble. Y'all
nigga,
y'all
this
in line
is
with
just
some,
the place.
some real niggas. You feel me? I'm not going. My take on the news realistically is they're controlled by people who want to push an agenda, and
By
the
one of the 6
news,
major corporations.
They literally are just designed to control the population.
That's it. They control what we
You
consume.
feel me? Exactly. They tell us what to think and how to think.
Pretty
And
much.
the perfect example is this COVID shit. Real shit. Like
Yeah.
the perfect example is this COVID shit.
'Cause honestly,
there's
a lot of
so
people
much
shook.
shit going on, but yet all the news is talking about
It's
all
COVID.
everyone is talking about is fucking COVID. You turn on your fucking sports stations, COVID. You turn on your radio,
COVID.
You turn on the news, COVID. You
COVID.
turn on any daily programming, Steve Harvey, Dr. Phil, any one of
If you
them
go on
niggas.
Snapchat, there's like a
Mhm.
whole little
COVID.
area highlights just for COVID. If you
Just
go on
for-
YouTube,
Come on, my
the
nigga.
highlight just for COVID. So if you go on fucking Instagram, there's like an ad posted as soon as you go on sometimes about COVID. Facebook the same.
Yeah,
So it's
my
like all
nigga.
of that shit is just pushing you into your
Pushing
face.
you straight to your fucking and again, there's so much shit going on out here that unless you looking for it, you won't
won't
be
find it.
aware of what's going on around you.
And
You
then the
feel me?
oversaturation of it makes it harder to find when you're trying to search for it as well too. And to makes
Exactly.
it to add like insult on top of injury, everything's a joke nowadays to everybody. So even if you're trying to find some real shit between all of that, it's
You'll
hard
always
to
find
decipher.
jokes.
Exactly.
Always.
You're
Something
gonna
always
find
funny shit.
the top post on whatever you're finding about, most likely, if it's a real, unless it's a real serious thing, most likely it's a meme and jokes. Those are the top
Yeah.
posts on that.
Real shit.
So it's hard for you to even get real information nowadays because if you don't have real general information to go in with, you don't know if what you're gonna take or decipher if it's real or not.
Mm-hmm. And just like you said, social media definitely plays into it because back in the day, growing up,
We ain't
you
had
got
that.
your information too. You got your information from your older niggas, your
Facts.
your aunties, your uncles,
Facts.
your OGs,
Or you're
niggas
reading
was
about
outside
that
with.
shit.
You remember
Or
getting
you're reading
magazines
about
and
it.
shit? Like,
Come on, nigga.
Like,
Niggas would get hella
taking the
magazines
pictures
to the
out.
house, dog.
Facts.
Like, come on, like hella shit. East Bay magazine,
Mhm.
motherfucking
Jet
what's
magazine.
Jet magazine, motherfucking what's that shit? The black one,
That was Jay, I think.
Essence.
Essence, yeah.
Like hella different magazines will come to the motherfucking zine magazine, teen magazine, all these different type of magazines niggas would get to the crib back in the day. Niggas ain't getting magazines to the house.
That
no
all
more.
no more.
Yeah.
Even newspapers is
Even
going out of
just- I
date.
was just about to say even newspapers. Like my father used to give me and my brother the motherfucking the cartoon
The
section.
comic section
And
from
we
that
will
shit.
fucking wander into the other shit
go
like
read.
here and there. You
Mhm.
feel me? Just because fuck it, the newspaper is out. You dig what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, you used to have to read 3 books a summer. You nigga what I'm saying? Back
Yeah,
in the
oh
day.
yeah,
don't know if
word,
they
I
do
remember
shit
that,
no
yeah.
more,
I don't think
but,
so.
Like niggas used like me and my brother used to bust it out in a week at the end of the summer. Like fuck it, like I'm not
I mean, I
reading
never
just
did
3
it.
books, but
I was
it
about to
give
say,
you
I never
extra
did
credit.
it,
It give you
but-
extra
They did,
credit,
yeah. That's
so
how
why
they
not?
tried to. That's how they
You
tried to
feel
get us.
me?
But I was like, I never did
My
it.
whole thing when I was growing up, cause nigga, again, like you learned like you growing up around niggas in different situations and seeing certain shit and just understanding how your parents work and how your parents hustled and shit. Like I knew, like man, the quicker I get this shit done, the more I can get done to get the overall goal accomplished. I'm gonna do it, man. That's why I was a good ass fucking student until I got to high school.
Facts.
You feel me? I ain't gonna hold you.
Honestly, me too, because that's when I ain't gonna lie, I got into my conspiracy side of me, and then I started diving into the things. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I need to know more about that.
Social media popped up.
Yeah,
YouTube
so I started diving.
popping,
But
Facebook
then
started
it was
popping.
easier to get real information because it wasn't already oversaturated,
Exactly.
yo.
Yeah.
It was there like you.
And a lot of things that we used to find, you
The main-
can't find on Google or anything like that.
Yo,
'Cause
you
I
know what's
talk
the
about certain
difference?
things, people be like, what? Where did you learn that? And I was like, bro, if you read the right things, like even 5 years ago, that information would have been right there.
Yeah, you know what's the difference though? There was no like major news sites on social media back in the day.
Nah, the thing is
they
they weren't
They
trying
really-
to advertise and put their thing on
But,
social media as well.
like,
Social
what-
media was literally social media at that point.
It was just people.
They
It
weren't
was
Yeah.
just
pushing news.
It was exactly
it
what
was
social
people,
media was
music
supposed
artists
to be.
and like actors and famous celebrities.
It was
It
like
wasn't
MySpace and shit. It was
Yeah.
that's what social media was supposed to be.
Yeah, it was just social.
And then after a while, it
was just
became
that.
too much of a hot commodity that the people have, like corporations, feel like they had to get a part of that.
They bought that shit.
And then that's when
Crazy.
corporations got involved. That's when it started getting gimmicky. That's when everything started become data, numbers, stats. That's when it all became all of that. Because before that, niggas was just sitting on MySpace, page under construction. The whole time you sit in there finding a whole new theme for your shit, making sure you have the right song when niggas click on your shit, all of that.
Getting your top 5 fucking situated and shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Facts.
And then people
All
had to
that shit.
earn their way into top 5, which means you had to interact, you had to communicate, you had to actually
Bitches owning the pictures.
exactly.
Yeah, my nigga.
Exactly.
Saying something.
Nowadays, and then even Facebook, you had your pokes, you
Hell
had different
yeah,
ways
facts,
of interaction as well
facts.
too. So it was literally what social media was supposed to be at a point. Until a point, it really became data.
Don't poke me though. I'm
No
not
man,
down
no
with
man
that
can
poking
poke
shit.
one next month on Facebook.
no,
dog.
no,
I yell
no,
if you
no,
poke,
no,
dog.
no, no.
I ain't with that poke
I be a
shit.
poke girl thing on here, dog. Poke girl thing.
No pokes.
No
over here.
Pokemon, dog. Poke girl.
But social media is very different now, though. I definitely would agree, man. It's very different now than it was back then, and it plays a lot of a big role in how these kids is brought up.
It really
Mhm.
do.
I had a coworker, approach me. She was having a conversation. She like broke down real quick, in tears. Da 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 da. I guess she had her daughter was posting on social media, talking to her friends, talking about how she's a fascist and how she's a racist and how she's against gays and homosexuals. Da 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 da. I'm like, I talk to this lady every day. She seems pretty progressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's none of those things. So she starts breaking down like her daughter 6 months ago. Like, she's a very how do you say, she's a hardcore individual. She broke down
very
her
extreme.
Yeah.
She broke down her daughter's text, like went back in her daughter's text messages from like 6 months to a year ago. Went into her social media, started digging from 6 months to a year ago. Broke it down, was like, yo, she was like, did this shit for 2 days, my nigga. She was like, yeah, she like come to find out. She's like, only 3 months ago, 3-4 months ago, since this whole COVID shit started, that my daughter started seeing and becoming more aware of all this other shit that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't say anything really negative about people, you feel me? But she does have strong views about certain shit. With her daughter, I guess she may have made one post or made one statement where her daughter took it as, oh, her mom is this, that, and the third, and started going out there spewing all of this shit. Now, mind you, her daughter's only like 12, 13 years old or some shit.
Oh my
So
god.
she's a little kid, my nigga, talking about her daughter is against the LGBT community, da, this, that, and the third. And she's talking about how she's asexual, this, that, and the third. Like, her mom's
Yo,
breaking all
what?
this shit down. And I'm just like, yo, I'm really sitting here looking at her. I'm like, yo, she's fucking 13 years old. What the fuck does she know about asexual? One. Two, what the
facts.
fuck does she even understand about what's going on out here in the world? Like, she's
How
not
could she
outside to
comprehend the critical
experience
aspects
any
of
of
it?
this shit. She's just on social media scrolling, seeing memes, seeing funny shit. Like,
Facts.
she's not outside really seeing or experiencing or doing anything to.
Yeah.
Shit, your daughter not outside of these marches.
Facts.
She don't know what's going on out
She
there.
don't pay
Who's
no
out there.
taxes.
She don't pay no taxes. She
Yeah,
not,
facts.
She
She
not
don't
at
have
the
no
town
experience
that
at work
you
that,
know what I mean?
that
She not-
reinforce their
Yeah.
ideology.
Exactly.
and
How
shit
often
like
does
that.
she watch Bloomberg, my nigga? Like, keep it you feel me? Does she watch BBC? Like, what does she watch? Like, outside of
Facts.
social
Yeah.
media, how is she consuming her information? Because other than that, her shit is fucking skewed and biased.
Yeah.
So, and she's 13, my nigga. So just imagine, like,
And she's putting all her energy into what she feel like she knows is right.
exactly. So just imagine what she's gonna grow to. What not even just her, but just all these kids out here who's like so deep into social media and shit. Like, just imagine what they're gonna be in the next 10 years as they become the next generation of adults.
Facts.
You feel me? Like, imagine her.
They're gonna
at
be the same
23.
thing that they are right now, but at a more extreme level.
Such a more extreme.
'Cause-
Now listen, I'm someone who stands with the LGBT community. I'm not against them. Like, nigga, do you? I don't
Yeah,
care what you
yeah.
do, how you do it. Fucking do you. As long as you're not interfering with what I got going on, I don't give a fuck. You feel me? But when you start, it's tough because what I'm starting to feel is they're pushing an agenda that's starting to fucking change and skew the perception of children.
Yeah.
You feel me?
See,
In
like-
such a way that it's becoming harmful now.
Yeah.
See, that's why I'll say this. I don't stand with the LGBT community, but I have nothing against the individuals of the community.
Okay, I respect that.
Because
Yeah.
I've met
Respect that, yeah.
individuals who nonchalant, easygoing, just living their life, have
Yeah.
regular conversations with you. They don't try to do no
yeah.
swoon
Not
on
bothering you. They just
And then you
living.
have
Yeah.
the agenda of the community now, who's trying to push it in a more progressive manner,
Facts.
Mhm.
which is
And it's not really
inconsiderate to how
progressive.
other people feel about it as well too.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not even progressive.
It's not because
It's just-
what the
there's
fuck-
individuals
what the fuck-
in that community that's against the community.
What the fuck? Why should there be a transgender individual on a cartoon that has or features a rabbit, a gumball, a fish, a donut? Why should that show have a gay
Yeah,
individual?
like
Facts,
why do you have
facts,
to
facts.
put sexuality within
Exactly.
Yeah,
that?
it's just
Why
like-
are there any sort of outside of the grown ass adults in the show as far as the parents, which is
Yeah.
really only two, generally most of the time? Why should there be any sort of sexual orientation or any sort of like relationship being projected on children? These
Yeah, it doesn't even make no sense.
More often or not, these children in cartoons are like between the ages of 9 years old, 15 years old, whatever the situation is. I'm thinking like Rugrats, Gumball, shows like that. You feel me? Why are you pushing a relationship or any sort of sexual
any way.
orientation
Yeah.
on a children's cartoon?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about TV shows.
Facts.
The fucking Bachelor, fine, that's for adults.
Yes.
Yeah.
The motherfucking
Your adult cartoons.
Yeah.
like cartoons,
Yes.
where I'm more or less drawing the line on the shit because it's like I understand inclusion, but these are fucking oftentimes fishes and all these other weird caricatures that aren't human-like or that don't look
Facts.
like fucking people.
Facts.
So why are you pushing
Facts.
relationships?
The
and-
personification of it. There's no need for
Exactly.
it.
Like first of all, you already started stripping these kids of identity by when you started showing them motherfucking figures that are unrealistic that they want to attain or achieve.
Facts.
Because
You
now
feel
there's
me? Yeah.
72 different genders outside of the
Come
other two
on.
that was pushed onto us from the very beginning already.
It ain't just LGBTQ no more. It's
Nah,
so
it's
much
like
so
it's,
much
a, it's a
more.
plus
You
at the
feel
end though.
me?
I
Yeah,
tell you that
it's
it's a plus at the end.
So it's so much
Because they
more
can
that's
add in
included
letters
that
to just
shit.
put the plus.
So it's just like, yo, I understand sexuality in the sense of what you choose to be with. If you choose to be with a man or a female, or if you choose to identify as a male or female, I understand all of that shit. But once you start taking it into the realm of that, so just like there's just unrealistic realms of just like you want to be this or I am this. Like
Facts.
this,
Mhm.
this, like it. I just don't understand.
Or were you forcing
You
on
feel
other
me?
people?
Exactly. I don't
Like if I
understand,
fuck
like,
up, if you
can do
identify as
that.
a
I don't have to understand. I'm
Yeah.
hot.
fact,
And if I'm against
nobody.
it,
I
and
don't
if
have to understand what you do.
and even if I'm against
So,
it,
I'm not
what does it make a
against it.
difference to you?
Well,
Like-
because I want them to. I want every person to feel comfortable on this
But
planet. You
that's
shouldn't
my-
feel
but
like
that's
you
my
should,
thing.
You should
My
feel like
thing
you
is-
you should have to hide who you are from anybody.
But
So,
my thing is
do
though,
you
if
feel
you make
me?
a decision in life, you make it in a comfort zone. You don't make life-changing decisions with discomfort. You
Well,
don't make life-changing
right.
decisions with doubts.
Nah,
You
definitely
don't
right.
do that.
Nah, you're right.
You don't put yourself fully in things like that and not conceive the potential backlash that comes with things, knowing what you're already in.
Yeah, you're right.
You're supposed to mentally prep yourself for that and not make society adjust itself just to make you feel comfortable.
You're right. And I'm not saying I'm adjusting to make them feel comfortable, because again, there's a lot within. I stand with them, but there's a lot with the whole community that I don't agree with.
That's what I'm saying.
You feel me?
Like
So
I said,
would
I don't
definitely-
have no
would
problem
definitely
with the
have these type of
individuals.
conversations where it's like, yo, with my gay homies, like, yo, listen, my nigga,
Exactly.
on some real shit, you understand that this shit ain't right. Like this whole pedophilia shit, the Clovers trying to get added to the LGBT community shit. Like
That's
for the
kinda
niggas in the
crazy,
community
bruh.
that's fucking standing with this shit, my nigga, what's good with that?
But
it's because
You feel me?
it's
Like,
because you
what's good with
normalize.
that?
But
This
to be
ageist
honest,
shit,
to be
like, what's good
honest,
with
what
that?
you opened the door for that when you started including the transgenders, the transracial, the trans age.
The
Like there's a
transracial
change.
shit, that's where it be open the door for the trans agents
Everything.
and all that other shit.
Everything.
Because
Yo,
you can't change your
how
fucking
the
race.
fuck are you a
You can't be
transracial?
like Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah, there's people
what is
who
her
want.
name?
There's white people who
Dolezal?
want to be
That's the
black.
that's the chick I was just
she's
like,
the one
yeah.
who opened Pandora's fucking box when it came to this fucking community shit. She's the one who opened this whole transracial shit.
And
It's
people
after
started taking
her,
it as a
all
joke.
this other shit started coming out. It's like, really think about
Yeah.
that. It's only
really
after
is.
she came out talking about transracial that all this trans ages. That nigga,
Yeah,
there's a
trans
guy-
age and
there's a guy in
transracials when
fucking
I was like,
Britain.
well, yeah, this
There's
is
a
too
guy in
much.
fucking Britain who legally fought the courts
Yes,
for
and
trying
won.
to change his name, not his name, his
His
fucking
age to like a
from
6-year-old girl,
35
to like a 6-year-old
fucking-
girl.
Yeah, my nigga, like
Yeah, I think he
What?
won. No, I think he
Dog.
won.
This real out here.
Yes.
Niggas who trying to change their age to like 12. Like there's grown ass men overseas who's trying to change their age.
There's
dog, and they're
there's a group of
successfully doing it, dog.
transracial Jewish people out there that have like a whole meeting and gatherings of things and everything as well too. All of this been
What the
all
fuck?
of this been big before it became mainstream.
That's real.
And this, I'm talking.
You have to
this is
understand
some
that.
shit from years ago, my nigga.
Exactly. All of this been big before it became
This
mainstream.
some
Years
motherfucker
ago,
tried
dog.
to change his age.
Years
Yes.
ago, bro. I've been talking about this ageist shit, this whole.
It's like a half a
pedophile shit
decade
for
ago, bro.
years, my
What
nigga.
the fuck is going on in the
And
world,
the media
bro?
is pushing this shit.
They pick and choose
That's
which
the
ones
shit
they
that
push.
I don't agree with, my nigga. That's the shit that the media essentially is pushing, dog.
Yo, so
They're
let me ask
pushing
you,
shit
let me
like,
ask you a
yo.
question. You think Ghislaine Maxwell gonna live to tell the
Ghislaine?
story or whatever her name is?
She ain't even fucking. She not. I don't go for what she do. She ain't gonna change or disrupt what's really going
Yeah.
on.
You
Honestly,
don't
like
think so?
at this point, I
'Cause
feel like it's
I
just
don't
a game
even
with
think-
their own
I don't
lives.
even think exactly. I don't even think that motherfucking Epstein really was as big a fish as niggas think he is or thought he was. You feel
Nah,
what
I
I'm
think he
saying?
was. I think he was.
I really don't think
I
so.
could
because
get where
if
you're
you
going
look-
with that,
if you
honestly.
look if you look at like I know what Pizzagate is, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
If you look at Pizzagate,
Uh-huh.
if you look at it like what they do essentially, it's kind of on the lines of what Epstein was involved with,
But on a bigger
not
on a bigger scale.
Just on a much bigger. Like they involve babies and
Yeah.
and
All
and
from a
children
pizza, all
type
from one
shit.
little pizza parlor right
You
there.
feel what I'm saying? Like it, like the what. I can't get into shit like this.
Not like
Not
for me,
openly on it.
For me, it's
you
hard
know
to
what I'm
comment.
saying?
It's
Listen,
hard
like-
to comment on because
Hey,
at the end
listen.
of the day,
Because it's real shit.
it's real. But
shit.
at the end of the day, a lot of this shit don't even affect our personal lives to certain degrees. Yo.
You would think.
Because now to me, it only opens up our eyes to the people around us personally. That's what it do. Because now you have to look
Yeah.
at the people around us and look at the same signs that you're calling out these big famous people for, and look at the same people around us.
Exactly.
Because a lot of us don't take in considerations. We sometimes perpetuate our own things in our own communities.
Mhm.
Like I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I feel like we as men and women need to come together when it comes to the over sexualizations of our kids, not just of our
Facts.
girls, but of our
Facts.
kids.
Children,
Facts.
yes, my nigga. Should
Yeah.
be no reason why I don't go. Should be no reason any child under the ages.
Before you hit puberty, why do you need sex read before
Yo,
you hit
why
puberty?
is
yo?
Like,
SpongeBob
there should be no
asexual,
There
though?
should be no pictures of your child on social media in a bathing suit or otherwise.
or anything
until they-
adult
until they're the
revealing
age
in any
of
way?
fucking 16, which is I guess the age of consent in most states. Whatever. You feel me? Until
That's
the
it
age
in
of 16,
Connecticut.
you
That's
shouldn't.
it in Connecticut.
You shouldn't have like I don't understand why. Like I get it, they look cute in that bathing suit, but you
Imagine
go-
that.
There's
Imagine
weirdos
what other
out
people are
there.
saying.
On
They
social
look
media,
cute in that
exactly.
bathing
You
suit.
dig what I'm saying? Now, mind you, them stickers that you put the stickers that most people put on their fucking kids' bodies and shit to try to cover it
Yeah.
up. You could
Yeah.
take that shit off.
Fact, yo, I heard. I
Fact.
just
You could
figured
take
that
that
out.
shit
That's
off.
crazy,
Fact.
yo.
Take the
Because
original
now
image,
you're
my nigga.
over
So-
sexualizing the subconscious mind of that.
So it's like you put exactly you putting it like I just
Because it's
don't
like nobody
get
would
it,
have
man.
thought of it being something you have
just-
to censor if you never actually censored it.
Exactly, my nigga.
Because now you're just looking at
Or
the
it's
child.
just some weird motherfuckers out there doing that weird
No,
ass
but
shit.
you know, as a parent though, it's some weird motherfuckers out there that's doing some weird ass shit. So
Yeah.
you try
But
to
see-
block your child from.
but
But
see,
why would you
being
even
out
put
there-
it up there if
But
you gotta
as a
block
parent-
it?
Because again, as a parent, oh, she looks cute in that, or he looks cute
See,
in that.
but
I'm
that
gonna
mean-
put him out
If
there.
I feel
That
like I
goes-
gotta block
that
a
goes-
picture, I'm not putting that up on my child.
That goes back to what I was saying
You're
earlier.
a
That
good
goes back to what I was
I'm
saying
just not
earlier.
gonna
You're a
put
good
that up.
parent.
You have to know what situation we're in and take it into consideration before you do certain things. If you understand the society that we live in, don't subconsciously put your child in that situation. I'm not saying you're to blame or you're the fault, but if you understand that those type of people are out there, limit yourself to certain actions.
Mhm.
Limit
Yeah.
how you do it. Don't do the certain things because you don't have to do these things. It's
Yeah.
something you
It
do for
was back in the
self-gratification.
day. These pictures, these things, how do we see them? How do we see them? In family fucking photo
Facts.
books.
You had to. Somebody had
And
to
who
show
else-
you that
and who
shit in
saw
the
'em?
hand.
The family
Facts.
saw them exactly. They had
Facts.
to show them to you. So it like why going so? The only people who need to see this picture of your child in this cute outfit is your family.
Facts.
The world doesn't need unless they're a model and it's through a modeling agency or some shit like that. And even then, I'm skeptical.
That's
I'm
even
skeptical
weird.
of this modeling agency.
Like,
shit.
why
I
is
feel
a
like
grown ass
they're
adults
bigger-
modeling agencies want to get kids to be the model?
Exactly. And there's a law in California. Listen, my nigga, it's deep. It's deep. It's laws that have been passed against this whole child actor shit. that haven't been followed for 13
Yeah, because it's
years.
weird, yo. Because now
You
you
dig
have
what
all
I'm
of this
saying?
shit coming out with all of these
Hey,
kids.
man,
And there's still a lot
Exactly.
of things that they haven't hit light yet.
Come on,
There's
son.
still a lot of things
So
that we
much
don't
shit
know
that ain't
about.
hit light yet, my nigga. It's real though. It's a lot of shit out here that's going on in the world, and the media, obviously, like we said earlier, is pushing a certain agenda because you're not finding this information out through what you will call the classic media or the big media. Like, you're not seeing or hearing none of this shit from them. All you hearing about is COVID.
Fact.
Yo, but I think it's a tide turner though, because like you see how we can just you can just start up and get up and record yourself and be a podcast or do what you got to do when it comes to media, and I think social media is a curse and a blessing at the same time, depending on where it goes, depending on
double-edged
what
sword.
the people think, because this could be the most independent we get.
It can be.
Because there's no other place you can go where you can say whatever the fuck you want. I mean, it's changing though. Which people should realize is a bad thing when they start kicking people off of Twitter and shit like that, and just because they a racist motherfucking shit like that, I don't kick them off, man. Keep them on.
Live.
Like,
Let
what
'em
happened
talk.
to the First Amendment?
Let 'em
I think
talk.
Twitter is the only real like free
Mhm.
like place where you can like freely express yourself.
But
Because
it's-
Facebook nowadays, like you
Yeah.
say
Got the
something
fact
about
checker.
anything,
Yeah.
they shutting you down. You
Yeah,
can't
facts.
post for 30 days, or they got that fact checker shit where it's like
Facebook jail.
who really is fact checking? Like they using an independent organization to do their fact checking, but still like who owns the independent organization?
And how factual is your facts?
Exactly. How are they doing this fact checking?
The
How
facts,
are they
who-
confirming this information?
Who is
are
telling
they?
you this is wrong or right?
Exactly.
How you know
That's
this
what
is
I'm
right?
saying.
These universities who have outdated textbooks.
I'm big, and people listen. I'm big on the idea that because I grew up and I was told that this is a scissors, or they call these scissors, they're scissors. If I was growing up and motherfuckers told me that this was a spoon all my life,
You believe it is
I'll believe it's a fucking spoon.
Mm-hmm.
So what people tell you, the shit that you digest, is very important and very crucial, my nigga. So you gotta make your own decisions. The moment I realized that shit, I was like, yo, fuck. It's a lot of unlearning I have to do. You feel me? It's a lot of unlearning I have to do out here. Cause going against what you normally know or what you normally have been taught is fucking hard, because you think that the news is right. You think the news is giving you information that's gonna benefit you. You don't really understand the news is pushing a fucking agenda to program you to
Facts.
believe in something.
Like, a
You
lot of
feel
people
me?
don't know that there's an actual patent out there for television programming.
Like, come on, son.
Like,
What do you
it's
mean?
meant-
Wait. What,
There's
what's
a
that mean? What's that
patent
mean?
out
What's that mean?
there that the whole idea of television programming is to program your mind to the things that they're telling you. Like,
It's a distraction.
no.
It's
You're being programmed on a
programmed, not to
biological
distract you,
level.
to
You're being
change you.
programmed on a biological level, bro. Like, there's certain radiation waves that being emit from the screens that actually hits us and alter us on a whole biological level.
LED, all that other liquid.
Like, you gotta look
ultra
into
shit,
how
violet.
how certain things at certain hertz affect us. Like, remember Bob Marley, his music was made at a certain hertz. It was like it had certain measurements, because if you look at it on a wave scale, it was very harmonic.
Mm-hmm.
The way our music nowadays is not on the same level, which means we're consuming more chaotic, more tunes to us. Because think about it, at the end of the day, we are more than just a vessel. That's us.
Yo, like
We're
you said,
energy. We're
it's
molecules.
feel-good music.
Like,
It's all
Bruh.
feel good music.
I remember very vividly, I was at the Future show some years back. It was my brother's birthday. We was out there. And on the screen, during, I think it was Mask Off, he was playing videos on the big screen, like both the jumbo screen. He was playing videos of like niggas babies getting killed, people getting
What?
shot,
Nigga,
war,
what?
war,
What?
like images of war, my nigga, like images
fuck?
of war, like some real weird shit. And I'm like, I didn't think about it at the time, but I thought about it like weeks later, like, yo,
Not all
why
that
the fuck would he
subconscious
put
programming.
that kind of motherfucking? Why would that, like, those images don't fit what was going on or what the song was like? And I don't think people really like watch what the fucking images were. They were just
Wait,
watching.
what
50
song
type
was
shit,
that
but
again? What song
Mask
was-
Off. Mask Off.
Was it
It was-
Mask Off? He got another video like that too. I think it's like March Madness. It don't got,
just- yeah,
it don't got
like,
nothing
don't
to
have
do with it. It's like
nothing to do with the
war
song,
and
my
shit.
nigga.
But
It's
if you
weird.
watch a lot of
My nigga,
music videos, that's how it is. Because if you pause in just between those scene changes, you see a lot of things that's not particular or peculiar. They see things that you be like, that's different. But like, there's a science behind all of that. Like, the reason why commercials and all of these flash things behind you, there's a science behind all of it, because our brain have to see things for a certain amount of time period for it to be picked up into our conscious brain. If it only see it for a minimal amount of time and it don't reach that threshold of time, it only gets sucked into your subconscious, which means you don't have time to actually process what you've actually seen or experienced. It's all in your subconscious now. So when you find yourself just reacting off certain things, those are all the things that your subconscious has been programmed to do. But your conscious mind is no longer aware of it because it's left that it never actually entered your conscious mind.
Yeah.
That's dope, my nigga. That's why I say all the time, like, self-reflection is very key. The time that you spend with yourself to understand why you do the things you do.
Hell yeah.
That's
big.
Nigga.
That's big.
Fucking key. Because if you don't understand self, you will just continuously let these motherfuckers program you.
You're gonna always be manipulated.
Since COVID started, we've had aliens dropped on us. We've had the government drop that it is true that astral projection and parallel universes and shit like that is real. Like, so much shit has dropped since COVID,
and nobody give no fucks about it.
I mean, kids is still being kidnapped. Kids is still in fucking cages, held by ICE. You dig what I'm saying? Breonna Taylor's killer still ain't get arrested. Like, all this shit is still going on, and all people could talk about is fucking COVID. They even try to shove this motherfucking.
And how much they hate Trump.
What's the kid? Rest in peace. The white kid that was just shot
Kanan?
Yeah,
Kanan.
facts.
Kanan. Rest in peace to Kanan. But even trying to shove that into people's faces, it's like,
and make it racist. Like, yo, like, come on, man. Like,
yo, to the division.
It's like, what are the media? What is the media really trying to push to the people?
See, but that's where I always say, like, we are a people of division. Like, we always look for something that we have to feel like we have to connect ourselves to. Like, I feel like we are a victim of emotional attachment and emotional love. We're a victim of personal attachment, because once we personally and emotionally attach ourselves to certain things, we become victims of it. Because now we're swayed in whatever ways they want us to be swayed based on how they push it onto us at that point. Now we're easy to be manipulated, because I'm one of those people. Even I don't care how you look at me, I rather step back from a situation and logically comprehend exactly what I'm doing before I take my next step. Because I've been in situations where you just react, and then now you have to do more work just to unravel your own reaction on top of what you already had to deal with from what you had from that. So I've learned, you know what? It's best to just step back, because sometimes there's certain things that's not even worth a reaction at all. Because now you just put energy into something you can't get back.
Man.
And now, this is my thing too. Like, I'm one of those people. Once I put a lot of energy into something, I still have it on me after the situation is over.
That's what people. Man, listen, you talking some real shit. I know your listeners is probably privy to that. You know what I mean?
Nah, this weed and whiskey, my nigga. That's what I'm
we
telling
do. We
you.
get deep sometimes.
Our people, our people love it.
Even understanding that about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand why they may get tired sometime, or why sometimes they aren't able to go and do certain things after they do something.
Facts. Because you're drained. Your energy's drained.
And you're taking on,
and there's a lot of takers around you.
You know what I'm saying?
You better know where your shit. You better know where your shit going, bro.
Like, you don't understand why you need that time by yourself to kind of recharge and get back to where you need to go, like where you need to be at, type shit. Like, people gotta understand this shit about themselves, man.
I feel like the hood should practice meditation.
How motherfucking how the media is changing the program and how you are moving and how you are seeing shit out here.
He would be so worried about, like, just nothing. They be worried about nothing, yo.
Like, I don't want to say COVID isn't a something to worry about, but I would argue that influenza is a little deadlier than COVID. Now, granted, I don't know what the
you're not a scientist behind it. You're not an expert.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen to whoever catches COVID 5 years from now. I don't know if they lung gonna collapse. I don't know if they're gonna lose their hair like this actress said.
I mean, COVID-19 is just the 19th strength of an influenza that's been around for a long time.
Exactly. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't generally think the death rate is as bad as the media is pushing this whole COVID to be. If people were dying at such an alarming rate, I can understand why we're speaking about COVID as much as we do and why so many facets of media are doing it. But it's less. It's
too much inconsistencies when it comes to reporting
and
that
now
shit.
You're talking about, at the beginning of this shit, we had people who, anytime you die, will just giving them the death, the reason that
It's
cause of death
COVID.
is COVID.
COVID.
Now we're talking about 1 in every 5,000 tests come back as positive.
And some of them are false
And
positives.
some are
It's
false
funny because I was
positives.
watching.
So it's
I
just
was,
like, what are we? How we
I was
really
listening to,
gathering this information that we giving to these people? Like
I was listening to Kevin Hart's podcast earlier today, and he was talking about how he got he's have at least like 10 or 15 COVID tests already because he do a lot of things, and then the plastic boys, his crew was like, damn, there's people out there still waiting to get their COVID test because he said he get his results back in 20 minutes. So what he do is when he go to the studio, he'll pull in, they test him, and then he said he pulls into the parking lot and wait a little bit, and when they come back and then give him his clear to go in there. He gets his result back in 20 minutes, and his boy's like, oh, there's people still waiting to get their results. And then he makes a joke. He was like, well, that's like universal money.
Yo, nah,
That's real
listen.
shit.
But if you really think about it,
That's
the
real
money
shit,
that you
though.
have and the money that it determines the quality of anything
Yo,
that you get.
Joe Rogan does that shit for every guest he has. And he has multiple guests a week.
Yeah.
Every guest he has, everybody takes a COVID test.
Now
He
you gotta
does that
think
shit
about
up.
the level of care that we getting out here. Because if you go to the drive-through spot and you talking about we got 25 cars deep, and you got to wait 3 days just to get
3
sometimes
days
a week just to get your results back. And again, we don't even know if these results are fucking good or not.
So
I
what
will-
if
I
you
will
caught
say they
COVID? What if
stepping
you
in-
caught COVID within that time you took the test? How the hell would you have known if you get your results back 7 days later? What if
Come
how are
on.
you gonna take the precautions to actually
You know,
deal with your health at that point?
this is why I had this. Me and my brother had this little back and forth on the show. You feel me? We was like, yo, I'm telling this nigga like the best place for any of these. I don't not the best. I'm like, yo, I don't understand why these athletes are opting out of the season, because to me, the best place to be is on an NFL campus or on an on
facts.
an NBA court or in an NHL hockey rink. Any one of those areas is the best place to be because you're being tested constantly and you're receiving the highest level of care.
Facts. And they
So
have the
there's
best
less of a
doctors on there because
likelihood
now
that
you're a
you're gonna get
liability to their
COVID.
business, so they're gonna do whatever it takes to
Exactly.
Yo.
keep you right.
So now
Speaking
you
of-
less of a chance. Now it's less of a likelihood for you to get
Facts.
COVID. So
That's why Kevin Hart don't come out fucking positive when he
You
takes
dig
so
me?
many damn shits.
So
But one
Yo.
person go take their first fucking COVID test and it's like, damn nigga, I've been in the house all fucking 14 days. How do I catch it?
Yo, speaking about sports, remember when I told you about the bubble and how these motherfuckers need to fuck bitches, right? So guess what? The NBA ruled the other day.
You can't fuck bitches.
Nah,
nah,
you
you
can't
could
have
bring,
instant.
You could bring one chicken, right?
Yeah, but you got to prove that you knew her.
Yeah, for an extended period.
No,
of time.
and they
Yeah.
list Instagram
Mm.
people. No people you know from Instagram and shit like that.
You gotta meet them in person.
You have to know them
You
prior
have to
to.
But
know
it-
them prior to
me,
some
That
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
me
yeah,
uncomfortable
yeah.
because now that's like going to visit somebody in jail.
These niggas gotta fuck,
I mean,
bro. They gotta fuck, bro. These
I
niggas-
get that, but not
super
If
athletes.
you married, you bringing your wife in. If you have a long-standing relationship with your girlfriend, you probably bringing her in. But
Yeah.
if you a single nigga, sorry nigga, like that's
Just
just
beat
it.
your dick.
Bro,
You
that's
feel me?
it.
Like yeah, because
Just beat your
don't end
dick.
up like this nigga from Seattle
Or
where you get cut
Or-
because you try and sneak a bitch into the team hotel, nigga.
I'll
like,
say this.
Oh, on the Seahawks.
yeah, like
See,
don't end up like
this
that,
nigga
nigga.
snuck
So
a
I would
girl
say
in.
this. I don't know
With
how
a jersey
I don't
on.
know how bold it is. Maybe somebody one of the other wives want to give you some pum pum too.
Hey, you know how these niggas
Nah,
get
you
down.
know,
Exactly.
you know what's
how these
next?
Niggas get down.
It's the hotel staff.
Easy.
It's
I
the
don't, my nigga,
hotel-
I'm pretty, listen, I'm
These
pretty
bitches
sure
about to
one or
come
two
up.
baddies in the hotel staff that niggas probably done knocked
Nigga,
off.
You gonna get some stories I had.
Come on.
Disney
There's
hotel
some
staff
stories
is about
I
to
had
come
some-
up.
Yeah, it's got to be one or two that niggas knocked off. Like you
Yo.
not in that fucking environment for that long around
They getting
that many
pregnant.
niggas, and you ain't trying to get
Plus,
one nut off.
you play ball and you
Come on,
work
son.
out. Do you know how much sex you need?
That's
Come
what I'm
on, nigga.
saying.
Like, what you
You
talking
need a
about?
lot of sex.
These
my
niggas
nigga.
is 6'7". They need to fuck all
like
day.
if you ain't on that basketball court, chances or even taking a little nap, you're working out.
That's it.
You're building
eating or
testosterone.
some
You're
shit.
pushing that. You need to release the oil from
Come
your
on,
back.
man. Niggas-
You need to
come on.
loosen up them
Good
gears a
luck to
little
the
bit.
Niggas that ain't able to get their bitch in, man.
I mean, my nigga Lil Will, he was willing to fucking take the chances for some wings.
Man, all he wanted was wings. I
Nah,
don't know why
facts. I
niggas
agree
was
with
mad
that. He
at
wanted
Lil.
some wings, bro.
If you know wings is fire, you gonna
Nigga,
go
the
get
wings
them
was named
wings.
after him.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
what you
so
gonna
I-
He
do?
went to get some. His
Will's
he went to get
probably-
his wings.
He probably preparing like, man, I need these wings before I go get a championship.
Facts.
Like you know.
And
what
shout
I'm saying?
shout out
Like,
to what's her own name? What's the white rapper name?
Jack.
Yeah,
Um,
Jack.
The Harlow,
Jack Harlow,
Yeah,
because he
yeah,
tried to
yeah,
cover
yeah,
up for his
yeah.
boy. He was like, "Nah, that's an old picture."
I was about
He
to
took
be
a
mad
picture
at
with
the
it.
nigga when he dropped the picture, and I was like, when he
He
switched it up,
tried
I'm
to
like,
cover up for his boy. Like
respect
he's
it,
like, "Yo,
respect
nah,
it,
nah, that's an
yeah,
old
Honestly,
picture."
before we continue, I wanted to do this earlier, and I actually want to give a shout out to Purple Rose Supply Company.
Oh, definitely,
Yes, sir.
definitely.
We definitely want to give a supply for that. We love your candle molds. It's one of those great apparatuses.
Trust me,
it's
you're
hard for me
really
to
not
describe this
smoking
one.
unless you smoking one of these. Because I'm telling you, we had one yesterday, and honestly, I was high till like this morning.
It's actually a pretty like even smooth. It burns very evenly. Like you get a good even pull and a balanced pull every time you pull it.
Yeah,
Like
But you
and
can't-
it burns very slow.
yo, and you know you got it stuffs the weed just right.
Like the large one could fit up to 17 grams into one split.
Or you can get the smaller personal one that fits like 2 grams, I think. Fit up to
It
about 2
actually could
grams.
fit up to an eighth.
Oh, really? Okay.
So imagine that you can fit a whole eighth in one split. You don't have to sit there and break down the weed and have to try to roll a whole eighth. You can sit here and get the greatest candle mold from Purple Rose Supply. Just follow them on Instagram and then order off their website and then just get onto that smoking wave. We just had to put that in right there.
Yeah, nah.
Anyways, let's continue with the conversation, you know? So, honestly, I want to follow through with another one that we love, which is Poddex. So, you put us on with Poddex.
Yes, sir. Shout out
Which
to
is-
Poddex, man.
Shout out to Poddex, which is great for interview questions. So, anybody who actually want to get their podcast started, just shout out to them as well, too. So, I'm going to choose one of the questions that they have in here because I kind of want to get your opinion on this because I think this is a good one. Are you a man of superstitions?
Yeah.
Like, what would be some of your superstitions that you can think of on top of your head?
Shit, man. One, I don't drive with the radio on an odd number.
No, wait, what?
Wait, what? Like the
The
volume?
volume, yeah. I don't like the
So it'll
volume
never
on
be
the-
like a
on
21
yeah,
or
never.
23.
Yeah, never, ever.
What's the reasoning behind that
Just
one?
because I notice a lot of the times where I've been in like wild situations in my car, whether it's an accident or like one time in particular, I fucking lit some papers on fire in my shit. You feel me?
Wait, how the fuck that happened?
I was ashing my fucking L out the window. Some motherfucking cherry flew in. I had
Ah.
a bunch of papers stacked in my little arm shit.
Yeah.
Little cherry fell in there. That shit started. I didn't know it was fucking. I thought it was my L until I fucking finished. I'm like, yo, nah, this roach can't be smoking that long. I look down. I'm in the fucking highway. I'm going to fucking work. I'm driving to Naugatuck at the time. You feel me?
Damn.
So at that point, I think I'm at exit 21 going up the hill. So maybe I'm at like exit 24 going up that big ass hill. I'm going up that big ass hill with fucking papers on fire, my nigga. Like,
Damn.
shit wild, son. But yeah, that was one of the times I can remember my radio being on the fucking. You feel me? And I remember because I put it on 21 and I was like, fuck it, this is just where it's at. You feel me?
So it couldn't be just that one number, just to be all odd
Yeah,
numbers.
nah. And also I gotta sit in the I'm in the car. If I'm not in the passenger seat, I sit behind the driver. Like that's the safest place in the car to be. You feel
Because they're
me?
gonna protect themselves at all times.
Exactly. You feel me? Exactly.
I never thought about that. Oh,
Real
shit. I'm definitely doing that next time.
Fucking kid, nigga.
The middle is the
When I was
worst
a
place
little
to be,
kid,
nigga.
bro.
And yo, you know what's fucked up? I
Straight
never
to that
sit
fucking
behind the
window.
driver.
Yeah, because you gotta think about that shit.
I don't
'cause
let
the
nobody
the
sit behind
driver's
me.
not gonna kill himself.
Yeah.
So that's like the second best place to be next to outside of being in the driver's seat. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I've been doing that since I was a kid. Always behind the driver. Always, my nigga.
I never
Always.
thought about that, man.
Nah, I'm like that as well too. If I'm gonna sit in that back, I'm gonna fucking sit in the fucking back.
So,
that driver's
so
seat.
yo, do you believe in like ghosts?
Do I believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
I don't believe in ghosts per se, but I do believe in like demonic shit though. You feel me? So I don't believe in like someone like a spook in your house type shit, but I do believe that you as a person can be like caught up in some sort of like demonic wave or inhabited by some sort of demonic being. You feel me?
I'm gonna be honest. I saw a ghost before, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I seen
At
one.
my
I
house.
seen one when
Like
I
your
know.
shit?
Yeah.
I seen one
This
too.
was like I was real young,
What do you
Yeah, me too.
and and I was sitting in my room, and I had a door. I never had this door open. Like, there's 2 doors in my room. There's one right here. There's another one right here. I always had this door open. This is the door I always walk in and out of. Always shit in front of this door. One night, I just happened to have it open, but I'm laying at the other end of the bed, which I never do at the same time. Like, I never do any of this shit. And I'm sitting there, and I'm laying there, and nobody's home, so I'm just trying to go to sleep and shit, but it's dark. And then I see someone walk across the door, and I'm like, nah. So I close my eyes. I'm like, all right, this is some shit. I open my eyes. That shit is standing right there. So I'm like, this is not real. Like, this is big ass white thing. It's not real, man. And then I wake up, and I just see something right in my face, like some shit. Spooked me out my shit. I ran upstairs to my house.
Word.
Scared the fuck out of me. I don't like, memories is fucked up. So I won't count this for certain. But I feel the chills to this day when I talk about it.
You gave me a little bit of a chill just now. I ain't gonna lie.
So,
cause that was a pretty detailed story.
It was right here. It was like, I'm like, oh shit, oh fuck! Like, and I ran upstairs screaming.
Yeah, a lot of people don't believe my story either. It's back in Jamaica. Like, we ain't know them as ghosts. We knew them as Duppy.
I was just about to say like Sukuna Jumbi or something like that.
Yeah, I was a kid. I think we talked about this before. Like, I'm a child. When I was younger, every time I used to go to funerals, I dreamt about the person who got buried the following night. Always. So that's why I always hated going to funerals. I always dreamt about that. So one time, was coming home from church, and my mom was a very devoted church lady. Like, she would go even night, but church in Jamaica was much different. So we would go in the night, and one time we was coming home. When we come home, we have to cross a gully. Anybody who don't know what a gully is, it's like a big dip, and then you dip in, and then it comes out again. So it's like a hill. You go down, you deep in, and then you come right back up from the hill. And then on the side of it, usually like a whole bunch of trees and shit like that. So I ran across, like, I was always a hyper child, so I ran ahead of everybody while they was walking home. I'm just running. I was by myself, and I got down to the bottom of the gully before everybody else, all the adults and everything. And as I'm running, I see somebody walk from one side of the gully over to the next and never even looked at me. Just walked. Went about his own business. After this, every time I tell my mom, she look at me and laugh. But I know what I saw.
That's real.
I know what I saw. To this day,
That shit scared the fuck out of me. I ain't gonna lie.
Up to this day, I can still, like, picture it vividly in my head of what I saw.
Do you remember what the person looked like?
Nah, because they never looked at me. They really just walked ahead.
Yeah.
Just kept going ahead. I know it was a male figure. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
But just
That's
walked
crazy.
and go ahead.
Yeah, I never experienced nothing like that growing up. I've heard stories like my older aunts and parents and shit tell me about jumbies and Sukuna and shit. But
the thing is,
I never believed none of that shit.
There's a lot of people who sit here and argue how it's harder for you to experience shit like that up here because the word I would probably use is a lot of, like, pollution that dampens our spiritual connectivity with a lot of things. So it's hard for you to see certain things and experience certain sensations because of, like, the dampenings around. Like, it's kind of like how we don't see as much stars in the sky because of light pollution.
Word.
But if you go any other place right now, you look up, the sky is plentiful with stars. So I feel like it's like that. And, like, places like Jamaica, it's spirits is like a natural, normal thing around here. Like, we're not scared of the dead or, like, anything like that. It's just a normal thing for us. So it's more of a common thing. So I feel like that's what it is. Like, different countries have different connections with the spirits, and they don't allow certain dampening things around them as well too. They have different practices that they do normally as well. So I feel like that plays a big part, because when I came up here, like, the whole idea of ghosts and all of that kind of went out of my head. Like, I was reprogrammed for a little bit when I first came up here. Like, I was reprogrammed, like, literally. I became a whole nother person who almost lost and forgot everything who he was before I came up here. Then after a while, as I got older, I realized I really forgot who my childhood and all that, and that's when I started remembering all of these things vividly and clearly now once I started tapping back into my Jamaican roots.
That's just real, man. I don't know. I'm naive as hell. If a fucking W walk up on me and if that motherfucker not white or glowing or some shit, like, he just like, like a regular person, I wouldn't. I'm having a conversation with this nigga like, yo, yeah.
You wouldn't even phase you.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know. I don't know, man. Just to be like, pretty special to be able to experience some shit like that.
Hell
feel the
nah,
same
that shit
way.
scared the fuck out of me.
Nah,
Now.
I feel
never
the
wanna
same
do
way
some shit like
because
that ever
experience some
again.
shit like that,
That's
my
things
nigga.
that a lot of
Nope.
people wish they can do.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
No matter
Like
how you
that.
feel about it, there's a lot of people wish they can
Yeah.
do these type of things. Like honestly, I feel like it's a connection with my ancestors.
Word.
That's how I look at it. So I feel like it's a blessing to be able to connect with my ancestors, to be able to still
Word.
see the images of my ancestors. That's a blessing.
Word.
But it's also, you look at it like a curse. There's a reason why you're seeing them. They're trapped souls.
I don't want to see no dead people, bro. I'm sorry, yo. That shit scared the fuck out of me, man. To this day.
Hey,
To this day, bro.
definitely
To this
understand.
day.
You gotta figure out how, like, you still live there?
Huh?
You still live
No.
in that same area,
No.
nah? I was about
That was
to
a
say,
while
man, you
ago.
gotta
That was a
figure out
child.
why you saw that, why that.
What it mean?
What it
Who
mean.
it was? Who?
No.
Because like you said,
I'm
you
good, bro. On
like
some
you
real
said-
shit, I'm good. I'm good. Like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine. 100%. Because the way I got scared, man, I'm telling you, I ain't never run that fast in my life. And I don't know why I ain't just go to fuck to sleep, man. I don't know why I ain't
Because
have
you're
my
meant
TV
to see
on.
that.
I don't know why I slept like that.
You're
it's a
meant to see
reason.
that.
It's a reason, man.
Huh?
You were
It's a
meant to
reason.
see that.
No,
Like you
I
said, you
was-
did everything out of
motherfucker-
the norm. You're
This
meant
is-
to see that.
The demon face, man.
Now, see, I don't like the idea of like demons and stuff like that because I prefer them. I just prefer them. Like I've been learning, like when we categorize certain things, we kind of bring new powers and new identities to certain things that don't even have that identity. There's a lot of things that we call evil that's not really evil but just misunderstood. There's a lot of things that's good but still like bad depending on the perspective of the person who it happens to as well too. So it's easier to understand like demons, like voodoo. A lot of people look at voodoo and say, "Oh, that's a bad thing."
Yeah.
But now you have people who practices that as a religion, as a spirituality. There's people who practice and do the rituals behind it to harness the powers of their ancestors as well too. So it's kind of like a perspective things as well too. Like I do understand there is demons out there, but not everything should be categorized as demon
Yeah.
until
But,
deemed demonic.
Wherever the
one of
fuck I
one of the
saw
questions I was
scared
about to
shit out of
ask you was like, what it did to you? Like, was it a good
Scared
ghost or a
the
bad ghost?
fuck out of me. Yo, bro, when I tell you, I was, man,
Yeah.
I can't, because I don't know what it was. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't know what it was. Just a tall white thing. Like, it's just.
Actually, speaking of, what's your take on that new thing, the article about the Annabelle doll?
That's not true. It didn't escape.
Oh.
Now I want to hear what your take was.
I mean, when I first read it, I was like, I ain't having that shit happening. It ain't happening around here, so I wasn't.
Was it
worried,
like
you know what I
Torrington
mean?
or some shit like
yeah,
that?
I think I don't
Yeah,
know where the
Torrington.
fuck that house is at. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, it ain't happening in Harvard, so.
I ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't run in them circles, man. Fuck
yeah,
that
I'm
shit.
chilling.
See,
That's-
but that's
I
my
don't know
thing.
nobody.
It's like,
Actually, I do know somebody in Torrington. No, I ain't gonna hold you, but
Not even if.
yeah, I appreciate you, my nigga, for being who you are.
Not even. It's not even about
You
being
feel me?
from.
Like,
It's not even about being from Torrington. What type of motherfucking circle you gotta run into that door?
I mean, it depends, my nigga. Like, it all depends on who you know. I know a lot of peculiar people, my nigga. You be surprised who you like.
Yeah, that's
like,
facts.
you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas are running into sometimes.
I understand that.
I
I don't run. I don't know. I hope.
I don't know who
know.
gonna be at the Annabelle store. Like, where was it? Like, it was at, like some stores, not a store, but
Yeah,
a
some
creepy-
museum or some
shit
shit
yeah,
like
some
that.
shit like that.
You feel me? Like, I don't know. Who
I mean,
would
there was
be
like a
there,
haunted
but
in Connecticut. There's a whole movie made of that as well too.
yeah, I know a couple people who have gone to look at like
The
that
house?
spot. You feel me? So they might just go to that fucking dog museum. I don't know.
There's a lot of haunting things in Connecticut. There was like when we was in high
I know
school.
a fair amount of white people, guys. Let's
Me
just
too.
say.
That's what I'm saying.
You
Like
feel me?
this one white girl put us on this abandoned haunted silent home in Cromwell. There's also a base over there as well too, where the people of Cromwell, I think they call it Cromwellians. They actually used to capture and torture Japanese people over there as well too. Like if you walk over there, there's a possibility you're still even walking on their ashes.
That's wild.
Yeah.
dog.
There's spaces like that in
Yeah.
just a
All
30-minute
over
drive
Connecticut,
away.
my nigga, all over the
All
state.
over Connecticut,
all over
bro.
the state, man. It's some wild. Like, man, you gotta keep in mind, like we're like right next to the like Salem. You
Yeah.
feel me? Like, you think all that witchcraft and black magic shit was going on just in Salem? Like, hell no, that shit made its way all the way through the.
Because in
New
Salem,
England area, you feel
Salem,
me?
Massachusetts, every Halloween, they supposedly get a witch and put her in like a field and she do like live witchcraft. in front of everybody.
Who the
That's
fuck
just
do
wild.
that?
I mean, niggas who want to.
There's
I'm not
people
against
because you got to think about
I
it. Their
know a
town
witch.
is founded
I
off
know a
that.
witch. Shout out
You
to
know
her.
a witch?
I know a witch. Shout out to her. Yeah.
What she do?
She don't do nothing wild.
She fly on a
just
broom
practice
all day?
witchcraft.
She just practice witchcraft. Like she more in tune into trying to bring
divinity
positive
of it.
energy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. The divinity of what witchcraft is. You feel me? Like she's not out
Okay.
here doing like.
She don't need
Putting
bad
spells
witches.
on people like some
Yeah.
hocus pocus shit.
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying.
yeah,
Nah,
you
she
piss
don't
her
need
off,
bad
she might
witches
do
like.
something to you, but she shout out to her though. She cool people's.
We gotta get a
white
witch
girl,
on this
you feel
show.
I
me?
mean, if
I'm
you really
trying
think
to
about
figure-
it, people who do voodoo, that's witchcraft as well too.
Yeah,
like,
but-
I was misguided to Azalea Banks. That's her name.
Yeah.
I was misguided to what she was doing when she was cutting the chicken heads off. You know what I mean? Like she's managed to. I guess she was doing it to bring some sort of positive energy to her. To
It did
go
not
to
work.
I mean, in some sense it did, because she's managed to maintain some sort of relevancy in my eyes without me having to know or hear any of her
The
music.
last thing I've heard
I don't
about
know
her
one
is
song about
she's
her.
about to commit suicide.
Yeah,
Now,
she was
exactly.
shaving her head
Shout
and
out
shit.
to her, you feel me? She shaved her head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
niggas
said
call her-
she said she
It did
tired
not
of this
work
world.
for her.
niggas call her Lil Bell like it was.
Oh,
fucking-
little
yeah,
Bell.
man, yeah,
Yeah,
That
bro.
little Bell.
Again, man, it's just like, yo, listen,
She-
I have,
she
I don't
like
have a problem. I don't have a
Tiffany
problem.
Haddish.
Shout out to Tiffany Haddish too. Niggas call her motherfucking, yeah.
Wait, Tiffany Haddish is still right. Let me not go there. Shit.
Yeah,
Nah,
she
but
was a
she
bobo.
she fucking they shaved her head. They shaved their heads. You know what I'm saying? The problem with them doing that is when Sanaa Lathan did it, she did it after she got her cut and after she got her shape up and after she already got her little, you know, her little done up on her face and shit. These chicks literally fresh in the chair with the cape on. Just, you know what I mean? It's just like, yo, you gotta let the
Azalea Banks
line
with the Britney
let the
barber.
barber even you out. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta
Yeah,
at
you
least
gotta
do
get that lineup
nigga.
right.
Like, yeah, something, dog. Like you can't just go.
Can't be
straight.
out here just looking all
You know what I
fucked
mean?
up.
'Cause
Yeah.
after the fact, like after the second, I think it was the second picture of motherfucking what's that? Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
You know that drop where like she looks good with the short hair. I'm
Yeah,
mad
shit,
at
it's
her.
not bad.
You know
It's
what
not
I mean?
bad. but at
Initially,
first
like
I
was
was
just
like,
like,
whoa.
whoa, yeah. Like,
hey,
you know what I mean? Like,
hey, bruh.
shout out to ladies with the short hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my wife got short
I
hair
said-
too.
it
I
don't
can't
matter.
climb it, but I be clowning that
She
shit.
show
Don't worry
like
about it.
fucking like Tiffany Haddish short. Like
Nah, she got more hair than that.
oh
Nah, nigga, I ain't gonna
It's
lie.
a little-
Them
it-
girls
it's
with the little
down,
fro,
though.
if
It's
you
a
touch
little
their
fro,
hair,
though.
that shit be so soft.
yeah,
Yeah.
they gotta maintain their shit.
Yo,
If
Yeah,
they're
she
not
got- she
treating,
do
they're
what
not
she
treating
is.
their shits nightly or daily or weekly or whatever the fuck it is.
She
They
know what the fuck she doing.
You know
That
what
shit.
I
That be
mean?
in there,
Yeah.
like,
and then I like when they have the good products in there. You smell good, so you can just.
hey, bro.
Yo, I'm a sniffer, yo.
Listen, don't come for me. I haven't been with a black girl in a while.
Oh,
In a while, like I've
In a
been
while?
In a while.
In a while?
What's a
Wow,
while?
like maybe like
If you gotta make that face, I
maybe
would want-
8. I'm 31 now.
See, before you
No,
even.
no, look,
no,
maybe like 6 years.
Damn. See, if a lot of people might come for me when I say this, but
7 years because I'm with my girl 4 years this year, so maybe like 7 or 8 years.
damn. So what
I mean-
ethnicity is your girl?
My girl is Hispanic, so technically black.
Yeah, she's
Okay,
black.
all right,
You know
all
what I
right.
mean, but she don't.
You
have,
ain't out
like,
the
she don't have-
community.
She don't have like the curly
all
hair.
right.
Like
Well,
she
you
don't do
ain't-
the
you
products
ain't-
and shit like that. Like
You ain't out the
going-
community.
You know what I mean?
You ain't out the
Yeah.
community.
Go to the other side, my
oh nah,
brother.
my last girl before her, she was white.
But shout out to the interracial couples.
I definitely dabbled in the Irish
But not, but
pool for a minute.
ain't nothing wrong with it. But
Yeah, I mean,
You
hey,
came
listen,
back.
Listen, I'm an advocate of knock off as many women as you can.
Yeah,
As many
facts.
different races. Like, there's some niggas out here who
If
have
that's what you
babies
single.
all over the world and shit. You know, I just say like, fuck it, knock as many
Because
bitches off.
the
as you
theory is on the muscle, which your penis is a muscle, is use it or
You gotta
lose
work
it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If
Use
don't-
it or lose
like, real
it.
shit, if you don't nut on a consistent basis, you
Your dick
may
become-
get fucking
Nah,
colon
facts.
cancer.
yeah,
Facts.
it
Might get colon
yeah,
cancer.
it's
Like,
a
you
high,
might
it's a
fucking
high
cry.
risk.
You're supposed to have
It's
sex.
an article.
Like,
That's
you
a
might
fact.
fucking prostate. So
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
you
I
gotta
saw
have
that
sex
article.
regularly.
yeah, like if you don't want your girl massaging your shit, like doing weird shit like that,
If you don't want to
So,
be
bro-
if you want to be 60 and still knocking boots,
So, bro, nut or die?
nut or die. I mean, what do you mean? Like,
nut or flaccid dick.
No, or die, because you're gonna get colon cancer and die. Because like, you know,
I mean,
you
you
got
might-
it. You got it, man.
I
you
mean-
gotta do something, bro.
I don't know if you're gonna die primarily. from,
You're
like,
just gonna
colon
have a
cancer.
sexless
You might
life
live.
early in life.
It will suck, but you might live for a minute.
Like, but a life with no sex for a man.
What's the life expectancy in colon cancer? Man?
Like,
you just
see-
gave niggas a death sentence. Like,
Yeah.
without even- like I'm
Long as
sitting
you-
here like, what's
long
the
as your
life
dick still get
expectancy? 'Cause I'm
hard.
sitting thinking like, yo,
I
damn,
don't
like,
know. Like,
I feel like I
you
know
gotta
somebody
calculate
who
it.
may have had colon cancer that
'Cause
came
I-
back from that. Like,
Because now, like, you know, I think like pum pum is like it's like a cure
Listen,
to colon cancer.
What people don't understand, dog, like the woman in general is the cure to a lot of things.
Facts.
Exactly.
Especially the black woman.
Real shit, my nigga. Like the womb, the whole being, the aura, the energy,
The juices
the
of the vagina that flows from
that
her
shit,
when
my
it's
nigga.
natural and divine.
It's important, my nigga. Like divine femininity, and a lot of men don't understand. Like they kind of need to encompass that.
Facts.
You know,
That's a fact.
thought like
Facts.
of divine femininity.
We have to be
'cause
one
that's
with our
what's
women.
gonna fucking. That's literally what's making the world turn is divine femininity, my nigga. Like the energy that women fucking produce from their fucking energy, their vibrations, my nigga, is what's turning this shit, dog. It
Because
ain't
where
nothing
would
else.
you be without a woman?
Not here.
Exactly. Look at the womb. It looks like a motherfucking tree. It's got roots, the veins. Like just
The
look at
unk.
the way the woman's body is set up. Like her heart isn't directly to the left. You know what I'm saying? It's somewhat centered. You feel me? Like just the woman in itself. Her whole being is somewhat.
The woman
aligned,
is the
you know
only.
what I
The
mean?
black woman is the only one who can produce any variation of race from her.
Exactly.
She's actually at one point the black woman was the only woman who can actually impregnate herself.
Well,
She
now
was
mind you, you're not like back in the days, slave days. Black women were primarily the women who were breastfeeding these white
Facts.
babies. You feel
Man,
me?
hold on. That's that, bro.
Yeah,
You said it was getting pregnant in itself.
because you have to think about it. Like what we understand as fertility is not what it originally is. Fertility, the idea of fertility is completely different because now you have women who go on birth control to control their own fertility, but originally the woman herself was in control of her fertility. She decided when her body was ready for getting pregnant. When I say when she was asexual, I'm speaking of the goddesses. The women who was on a whole different level at one point where they can actually get themselves pregnant. They were asexual.
I've definitely heard of women, not even just women, like girls who produce breast milk without ever having sex. You know what I'm saying? And like have squirting or secretions or whatever the fuck the breast does with breast milk. You feel me? Like,
What the fuck?
yeah, my nigga.
There's
like,
a different. There's a lot of different variations and things in the human body.
Like if the human body in its purest form, like is without all of this extra shit that we have going on around us, my nigga, is capable of some like real amazing shit. You know what I mean? Like people think about like aliens and shit like that. Like
Nigga, I told you one of my goals is to levitate in life.
yeah, it's definitely possible.
It
It's
is.
definitely
One of my goals,
possible.
man.
We talk about this shit almost, and it's funny because we're coming towards the end.
What
So
up?
let's bring it up.
It's pretty bad.
Let's bring it up.
I don't know.
Run it.
I kind of feel fucked up now talking about.
No, bring that shit up, bitch.
What up? Right.
Bring that shit up.
Well,
I'll try
so-
my shit.
So when when I'm about 55 or so, I'm gonna do cocaine. For the
Ain't
first
bad.
time.
I ain't bad, nigga.
Cocaine and
But
prostitutes.
I gotta be an
bad.
old man. I gotta be retired. I gotta have a yacht, and I gotta be able to do this on my
My nigga, you
yacht.
can do that shit tomorrow.
No. See.
That's not that bad, my nigga.
No,
like,
no, it is. No, it's that bad.
it's
To
not
me, it's
that
that bad. To me, it's that bad.
I mean, it's a little bit of coke.
Nah.
You're not gonna do like a key or nothing like that. You're gonna do what?
No, but
a
see,
line or
that's
two,
my
like,
problem.
So what if he ended up
What-
doing
See,
a whole like 8 ball in one night?
but that's my
Hey,
problem.
Listen, I feel like you may have the mental fortitude, aside from this ghost shit. I feel like you may have the mental fortitude to be able to bounce back from
I'ma tell
a
you.
little coke.
No, I think he
I'm
will.
had to- it's gonna have
but
to
I
be
think he
a
like
bounce
like it
I
too
don't
much.
think you're gonna become a coke head.
Nah, I think he might
No,
like
I
it
will
too
be
much for the
cocaine for a little
moment.
bit, bro.
Doing it once.
I'm
One
not
night
gonna
of
do
coke
it
with
once.
prostitutes, my nigga. Like,
Because-
bro.
yes, it has to go with yo.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. One night though, like, it's not gonna turn into like, all right, this
it's
weekend,
gonna
let me
turn. It's
do
gonna
coke
turn
with
into a lot
prostitutes,
more
like,
than what it needs to be.
Hey, listen, I don't have a problem with the whole prostitute thing, coke, whatever. You know, they can live your life, my
It's
nigga.
gonna-
Like, it's not
yeah,
that bad.
it's
Just
gonna
as
be at
long-
the end of my life.
Just as long as you're not doing this shit on a regular basis, like one time in your life you want to do coke like tomorrow and then never do it
See,
again.
the reason
No,
why
it's gonna be like
the reason
a
why he
good-
to do so late too, is so he can adopt his white baby at the same time.
Hey, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I had
too.
to have a white baby
Yeah,
Prostitutes and
yeah.
coke and white babies.
because he has to grow up and he has to dominate white supremacy.
Hey,
So,
listen, get you a prostitute from the DR. They're beautiful, from what I've seen.
prostitute.
Like I said, from what I've seen.
From what I've seen, that ass. I will show you a video off camera.
I can't-
Nah,
I'm
I ain't
married,
gonna lie.
I can't do-
DR
I can't do
got
that.
some top notch.
I can't get a prostitute. I can't get a prostitute.
You just said you want a prostitute.
Nah, this come with the cocaine part.
She probably will get you some cocaine, some good shit too.
Nah, this is later in life. The white baby gonna come a little bit before the cocaine because I gotta prove to them I could adopt a white baby.
I mean, they don't have to know about the one time.
First of all, if
cocaine,
black
my
people could
nigga.
adopt, I mean,
Well,
white
what
people
I'm
could
saying
adopt black
is-
And I
babies,
think
we can adopt
really
them.
well, nah, because well, they were half black.
I
so-
want him to have an authentic white experience where his dad goes on a cocaine binge for like 6 months.
Hey,
And he disappears every 5 days. You don't know where I'm at.
I mean, listen, I don't think you should sully that child's life like that. But hey,
No, I don't want
You
to
know.
really, but I want him to understand that life is real.
you got other kids,
Yeah, I have a son. And I have a
Alright.
stepdaughter too.
so you gonna have another stepchild.
No, it's not a
That's a white
stepchild. That's
baby.
my adopted baby.
All right, well, all right. So,
So
you have-
technically it's a son.
And then
Yeah.
the fucked up part
It's a
about
child.
it is, right, I want one because my last name is
my
Russell.
bad.
so-
I didn't mean to refer to your stepchild as like, well, your other child.
No,
is
no,
your
no, no,
stepchild.
no,
You
no,
feel me? My
no,
bad. I didn't mean to do
no.
that.
I get you.
Yeah. I just thought about it like that.
No.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know what I mean? Because the white baby has to, like, when I bring him to school, they're gonna be like, fuck. They're gonna be like, yo, how you do this? Like, I'm gonna be the GOAT in that school because I have
Hey,
a white
man,
baby.
listen, it's white people who got black babies.
Exactly.
all over the
Facts.
place, so, you
And
know,
then adopt
Just
them
don't
and then
corrupt
marry
them.
them when they get older.
nah, don't do that. Please don't.
That's
do that.
they
That's
do that
some
out here, man.
wild
What?
shit, dog.
Do what?
They would adopt the baby, and then when they get older of
Yeah.
age, they would like get rid of
What's that
parental
nigga name? Fucking,
custody.
Woody Allen.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh,
Producer,
yeah.
director,
Adopted
da,
and
da,
married
da,
the
some
baby.
fucked- That's some weird shit, bro.
Wild shit. Like when I saw that shit over there, I'm like, how is it that we even allow? Like, how is it that the court? Like they know that that's like you now are technically the parent of that baby. You raised that baby. Like that's your child. How are they allowing you to? Like nobody else can go fucking marry the child.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, I don't
Yeah.
know if like my cousin and his aunt or his mother could go down to the courthouse tomorrow and get married. You dig what I'm saying? I don't know if that's real. I would assume that that's not something that
I
they
mean,
would be able
technically,
to do.
you could go down to the court and marry a piece of cake.
Yo.
That's fucking
So
in
you-
some states,
so-
I don't think it's in every state, but I think in some states, in some countries, you can.
So, yo, you want to hear another crazy thing? So, you ever watched the Rush Hour trilogy?
Yeah,
You watched all three?
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you know the third one, they're in Paris,
Rush.
right? And that that the cop, the old little short French guy,
The
Cop.
assistant.
Oh
nigga.
yeah.
he's a director. He cannot come back to this country. He's supposed to. He's actually a criminal because he had sex with like a 15-year-old girl.
Come on,
Went to France and they won't bring him back.
come on, Roman Polanski.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Roman Polanski.
bro, it's a lot, dog. It's a lot that people.
They had
like,
him in a movie.
niggas ain't thinking
I
about,
mean,
man.
Rush Hour?
one of the phases
White.
of Me Too got Me Too.
Oh wait, what?
yeah. Well, I forgot what her name is. I think we did a show on the episode on her too. She got
Dead
the fuck
ass.
outta
Wait,
here.
what?
Yeah, like she was one of the faces of Me Too, and then one of her fucking
People that she was trying to
child
recruit.
actors or whatever that she was in a movie with back in the day came out and said that they was in a relationship together. Pictures surfaced and everything, and them niggas in bed together and shit. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah, they got Me
Yeah.
Too, bro.
Yeah.
They got Me Too. Like I read a list of a lot of like the big figures who came out who was a part of all of that shit, and honestly, bro, fuck them niggas. Fuck them niggas. One, like you said, free a lot of the people that we need to free. Find the killers that's been killing all of these black people who has not been prosecuted yet. Two, tell us about the shit that's really going on out there in the extraterrestrial world. We need to know about that shit. Stop trying to keep us in this little box that you're trying to keep us in, because I don't like that shit, yo.
Let
I feel
niggas
insulted.
Make their own decisions.
Facts.
Don't think or assume what the general populace is gonna do with the information that's provided. You dig what I'm saying?
Or
I really think,
put us in a position where we can better react when you give
Yeah.
us those information.
Something, my nigga.
Because if you just leave us in the dark and then you shine some light on us, our eyes are too dilated to accept that bright light right away.
You know what I'm saying? That's
You have to
bullshit,
ease us
bro.
into that shit. You got to prep us into it and stop keep treating us like babies, yo.
Mhm.
Question for the both of y'all. First thing when the aliens come. what you
About
do?
time. I've been waiting. That's what I'm gonna say today.
I'm not ready for that.
I've
You
been
not
waiting.
ready for that?
I'm not ready for
They
that.
here,
I've been
man.
waiting.
I'm
Show
not ready for that.
yourself.
I don't know what they coming here to do.
Honestly, can I be honest with you guys?
Because if your ship, if whatever ship, because we've seen so many different types of footages or whatever, if their ship is able to maneuver in the way that their ships have been able to, from what I've seen, just imagine what their weapons.
Oh, I
are
know. They were
capable
like
of.
1,000
You know
years
what I'm
ahead of
saying?
us.
Like, I'm not
At
ready for
least.
shit like that.
See, this is what I honestly think. It's gonna blow your mind a little bit, maybe, depending on how you look at shit. But deep down, I feel like I'm one of the aliens.
I mean, they do have star seeds out here, man. Like star children,
Like I do feel like it. Like
children.
I
of the
feel like
stars. It's
my
real.
connections and like the little things that be happening to me. I don't know, man. I really do having my own thoughts and be like, cause I be thinking it's like we sit here and say the aliens took the Mayans, but never actually conceptualize the idea of the Mayans being the aliens.
Telling you, man.
Like
Huh.
think about that.
You go
Yeah.
without you like we aren't able to crack like 1,000 miles below where we're at. You feel me? Imagine what's under there. Like
There's-
we've already seen underground cities and crevices, and we've found underground civilizations and this, that, and the third. Like,
And we still
imagine
haven't
what's-
reached the bottom of the ocean.
Yo, they're finding.
We're not
yo,
even nowhere near
Nowhere
the bottom
near
of
it.
the ocean, my nigga. So just imagine the shit that's like.
I have a
just
theory
here
on that
now.
too.
Yo, they're finding. Yo, they're
You feel
as they're
me?
cutting down the Amazon. Yo, they're finding civilizations.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
my
un
nigga,
there's
like-
un
like,
there's
for, like,
un
millions of
there's
people.
unmapped civilizations out there that have
Yeah.
not been colonized.
Yeah.
There's
Oh yeah.
parts of the fucking of the U.S. that haven't been colonized. That's
At all.
still 100% what it was. However long ago it's been there. You
No
feel what I'm saying, my
technological
nigga?
advancements as much as that or anything.
Never. So
And they're
like,
not even like the Amish people or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're just people who just off the grid.
Like just imagine what's really out here, my nigga.
Yo.
Like Antarctica. The
Yeah,
like,
Antarctica, there's theories of how there's like a lot of the glaciers are hollowed out based off the thermal heat there, and a lot of technology like from even World War II, that German UFOs that they actually built themselves. A lot of their technology is actually stored there, which is why you have the
That's
Treaty
fine
of
shit.
Antarctica where nobody can actually do any type of business there because it's like a little front for a whole bunch of little military shit that's going on. Because
Yeah,
people
fine shit.
always forget Germany made UFOs.
They're finding shit, my nigga.
They actually had
But-
UFOs fly over
but-
Washington D.C.
But I will say, a guy walked across Antarctica.
Which guy?
I think I might.
He was on
died.
Joe Rogan.
Oh, he alive?
Yeah,
He walked across.
two
the
people
entire
did it. He,
Antarctica?
him, and yeah. They, I mean, it's a different like it's a path, but he walked across the
A part of it.
like along
Yeah.
across it,
Not
but
the entire
it's a
thing.
direction you have to walk, and then somebody else did a different direction. There was two people that did it at the same time.
That's dope.
But again, a lot of
Nah,
these
he
things,
was like, yeah, that shit was terrible. Oh, why
Of
the
course, why the
fuck
fuck
would
you
you
want to do
do?
some shit like that? I mean,
I
I understand
don't
you
know.
probably
There's
testing
people
your
that wanna
mental
climb
fortitude. Like you want
mountains.
to, test your body and see how far you're willing to. You're capable of going. But my nigga, like, nigga walking across Antarctica, nah, fuck that shit. That's wild.
I wouldn't even do that.
That's way too fucking much. Fuck that shit, my nigga. I'm straight.
All right, boom. Before we even go, I'm gonna ask a little quick questions. Do y'all believe slave ships actually existed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I've been actually looking into a lot of stuff lately, and it kind of like you ever heard of Dane Calloway? Like YouTube home, and I'm gonna say it like this too. Like I remember that one of Kanye most hated recent comments about Harriet Tubman.
mm-hmm.
When you go on YouTube, Dane Calloway, and type in Harriet Tubman with that, and watch his video on how he breaks that shit down, shit will blow your mind, bro. Blow your mind. But he also had a video on how the term slave ship could not have even existed at the times that they said it did, because they never technically had words for slave ships, I think, until about the 1980s. If you look in any dictionary before the 1980s, you will not find no word in there that actually resembles slave ship. The closest word you actually find is the word slave, which meant actually it never meant even what it's meant today. And then you have the word slaver, which I think meant idiot.
Wait,
So the
Huh?
word
I
slave
can
is,
understand that. Because
like, you have to
gotta
understand-
think like why they wouldn't call the ships slave ships. They would just call them whatever.
they were sailboats. Because think about it, they never had the technology to even build boats like what they say they did in what slave ships is.
Nah. But see, here we go. So this is also an opinion I want to get from y'all. So T.I. and I think a couple other people are spearheading this campaign. I forgot the company name. It's the English something company, but they were the company to sponsor or give loans to the companies for ships to ship slaves, and they're trying to get to say, listen, you guys give us 10% of revenue for what you did, because they apologized. They recognized their input on slavery, right? They apologized. They said, we realized our impact back in the past, and we're trying to make amends. And they did some shit, like they donated some shit or something like that. But they're like, nah, y'all make billions of dollars. We need something like a reparations from y'all. What do you think about that? So even if I'm just trying to,
Like, honestly, like, at this point, I'm with anything that talks about reparations.
mm-hmm.
Personally.
Fact.
Factual, true, not.
Yeah.
I'm with anything that talks about reparations.
Yeah, facts.
That's my own personal thought. And me personally, I'm starting to care less and less what T.I. do and does and what he aligns himself with. Like,
Man,
like I'm not, because this is where
You're like, you don't want to talk about that shit.
This is where I'm getting you.
I'm really big on this. Like, yo, I don't believe that any one person is going to be the voice of
the Messiah
black
or
community.
this one leader.
Like,
it's multiple
it's gonna
people
be
who's going to be
multiple
involved in
individuals.
different
So,
levels and tier of it as well too.
Like T.I., he has a way, as long as they all in line with the same agenda, they trying to accomplish the same goal. That's all that really matters. T.I., I don't generally agree with a lot of the shit that T.I. The moment he decided to invite himself along to his daughter's doctor's appointments as a grown woman and as a child, my nigga, I lost all kinds of, you bugging, dog. I can't.
I'm not, honestly, I'm gonna be
I
honest with
can't.
you. I can't get down with that either.
Yeah, like
Be
I can't
honest
fuck
with
with
you,
a
nah.
nigga who's willing to do something like that, because the shit that you want to project on your child, imagine, like, you know what I mean, like your views, how you trying to, like, it's a different way, it's a million different ways to skin a cat.
Facts.
So like you might have a different way of approaching, freedom for black people or equality for the black community or whatever the situation may be, but I'm not gonna agree with how you gonna get it done, because I clearly don't agree how you raising your daughter, because you're gonna project that shit.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
To
like,
the extremity of that. If we wanted to go
Yeah.
that extreme in that
your child,
regard,
my nigga, imagine
then
how you
imagine
would
the
raise
other stuff
somebody
like
you don't
that.
even know,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and the community, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, son. It's like, you just we all gotta understand, like, we are capable of doing whatever the fuck we need to do to create an environment that's conducive to us.
Facts.
You feel me?
And
Like,
that's why I've been not aligned myself with a lot of people, because I've been having more confidence in myself.
yeah. You know
I
what
feel
mean?
like I've been learning what I'm actually capable of and what I can bring that's credible and positive to this world. So instead of me sitting here and try to talk about or hope what this person is doing is positive or not, is to just realize at the end of the day, no matter where most position is, it's only a few people who's in it not for themselves.
Exactly.
Most people are in it for themselves. It's very
There's
rare.
always an agenda being pushed.
Exactly.
There's not many people out here who's really genuinely
In
doing
it,
something.
exactly.
You feel me?
And then when
For
you're
the love of
genuine,
it.
you know genuine.
Yeah.
So when some shit just don't be like, you know what, that shit don't add up. You sit here and question it, and it just makes you ease away from that shit. Like, you know what, I'm just gonna step away from that because I don't understand it. So before I sit here and try to completely dive onto a topic, I don't even get an opinion on it. I'm gonna just try to understand it first, and if I can't understand it, then I'm good. I'm good. And there's a lot of things that I feel like I can't understand when it comes to T.I.
Yeah, man, I can't get down with that guy. It's a lot of people I can't get down with, but we all masters of our own destiny, man. We all masters of our own future, so we just gotta make sure that we focus on what we gotta do. Like, I get the community aspect, but we not gonna be able to change. We here in Connecticut not gonna be able to change what's going on in fucking Michigan. You dig what I'm saying?
Facts.
We can't fight for the Michigan's educational system.
It gotta be.
We can't fight for the educational system to raise its level of education.
Yeah.
We
gotta
can't fight
worry
for them
about
to
what's
go
going
fix
on
their
in
water.
Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to worry about what's going on over here.
And it's not to sound selfish
we
or
all get
whatnot.
to a certain level where now
Facts.
we can all work together
To
collectively
do
It's
do
like-
what
everything that we
you
need to
feel
do
me?
for
it's
our
like
people.
I always say, yo, you have to take care of the individual and the next generation before we can sit here and think about the community, because we're not at the point at a community point.
Like we lost.
We're not
We
there
like-
yet. We're
in
not
order-
there yet. It's a
we-
restart
We
kind of.
can't affect change. Your daughter is I'm sorry. You said you got a son.
I got a son and a daughter. I got both. I got both.
You got both. Your children have the keys, or should be given the keys and the tools to enact change. It's
Yeah.
gonna be their kids that's actually going to bring about fucking change.
Exactly, with the
dig what I'm
community.
saying?
That's
within
that's
the
where you get
communities and the families and shit. Like we got to start. Like we've done.
Mhm.
We a lost cause.
Exactly.
And like even if we don't teach our children, they're a fucking lost cause.
Mm.
It's going to take their kids being able to bring about the change that we fucking need, my nigga. Because their kids are going to be able to teach their kids, and their kids are going to be able to teach them on a broader fucking scale. You
Thanks.
feel me? But we stuck where we at right now, man. We just got to learn and think for ourselves, man.
Are you for integration or separation?
You trying to get me in trouble? I'm for separation, my nigga.
No, like I don't feel like that's anything, because I feel like we should be able to have certain conversations and not let it how it change how we feel, unless it's something that's gonna completely harm us.
Yeah.
Like you just having a thought on that, regardless of how I feel or how anybody else feel about that, it shouldn't be something that gets you in trouble.
Word.
Like it should be like. And then the reason that it's hard to bring that conversation up is because a lot of people like to associate the word black supremacy with the word black nationalism. A black supremacy is not a black nationalism at
Terry
all.
Crews.
Very different thing. Fuck Terry Crews.
Like
big ass
to talk
diesel
about
nigga
black
is a
supremacy
bitch.
is to
Fuck that,
basically
nigga.
say black on black crime.
Let me not say that.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
how
we
I look
just-
at it. You're just
Right.
basically kind of misdirect our entire agenda of what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We're trying to just have something for ourselves. There's nothing wrong with having something for ourselves.
And that's my thing with with separation. Like I'm big on separation, just to elaborate on it. Like just in the sense of, if you look at it statistically, there's schools that are predominantly black schools. Granted, they're smaller, but there's still schools that are predominantly black, that are educated or taught by black professionals, black teachers, whatever you want to call them. You feel what I'm saying? The success rate in those schools compared to schools where it may be in a city, or in a city where it's more mixed, or whatever the situation may be, the income gap it varies more.
Facts.
You feel me? The statistics vary where those kids are more successful in college, or able to go on to college, a 4-year university or whatever, as opposed to the kids who may go on to community college or not even go to college in the city schools or the normal schools. You know what I'm saying? Or the kids who are being taught, let me just be blunt, the kids being taught by white teachers.
Facts.
Because these are the teachers who are in the
But-
city schools. They're not black fucking teachers.
But you want to know something crazy? There's a lot of black college students that will come to tell you that it's the white professors who tell them the realest things when it comes to black
Yeah, I was
history.
gonna say, yo,
shout out R.P. Mr. Murphy. That was a real ass motherfucker. He was an English teacher of mine in Windsor High. Real dude.
Yo, he died?
Yeah, he died. You
Oh,
feel what I'm
shit,
saying?
for
Murph
real?
Dirt. Yeah, he died. You feel me? He was a real teacher. He taught his students real things. You feel what I'm saying? And I appreciate what he did for niggas. But at the end of the day, he's a minority in the vast majority of teachers, white teachers, who don't give a fuck. And mind you,
Just
that's
teach.
Windsor High. That's very different than, say, Buckley or Connor. I
yeah,
don't think there are many Mr. Murphys in Connor or Buckley or Hall or any other of these fucking high
I had those
schools,
at
man.
Rawson and shit
You
like
know
that.
what
I
I
had
mean?
teachers who would make sure I'm getting shit right and learning the proper things.
yo, but you know what's crazy, yo? I've learned all my most valuable lessons from old white guys.
It's funny because that's like one of the things I said on your podcast, like on the first times I came on there, how a lot of the things that I've learned in life is from a lot of white people, only because they're the only ones who just, not the same black people never seen potential in me,
They have
but
access to that information.
yeah, and they was able to put me on with things that I was able to like move in life with differently to put me in a better like
Mhm.
financial position and shit like that.
Facts.
But I would say this, like when it comes to like life lessons and how to be like the person I am, black people are the most involved in that.
Yeah,
But just when it comes to certain like life movements and certain things like that, a lot of white people are heavily influential with that. Like
Kinda
just because of
more
where I
career
was.
choices and how to move socially. And
Yeah, because I was in
shit.
integrated schools throughout my whole life. I was around like a lot of white people like my whole life. Like I went to a private school for a little bit in college and shit like that. So a lot of the people I've been around were predominantly white, and I was never accepted as the token black guy. I was never seen as the token black guy, and I think that's a really good thing. And me saying that is not saying that like they hated me or anything, or I was just a guy person. I was just somebody to them.
If you weren't the token black guy, they definitely respected you.
Exactly.
To be the token black guy to me is to not be respected by your peers or the niggas that you surround yourself.
Exactly, because to be the token black guy, you're the ridicule.
Yeah, real shit.
You're the
Being
ridicule of them.
Yeah.
Because think about like South
fucking-
Park.
they're
Think
playing
about
with
South
you.
Park.
Token.
What's the name of exactly?
Yeah, like
And yo, I didn't get that till a couple years ago.
Yeah, like
Exactly. So I'm glad they never seen me as that token black guy.
But Token is not the token black guy though. He don't fuck with them. He be like, yo, fuck y'all.
I mean,
If you see how they portray his
doing his own
character-
thing. He do be doing his own thing sometimes, but still, it's like nigga, he got to deal with all that scrutiny, son. Like,
But he's the
deal with
predominant.
I think
He's the
that's why they
most
named him
dominant
Token.
black guy in
Yeah.
there. He's the most dominant black guy in there who's consistently throughout most of the episodes.
Well, I don't think Chef he could
Chef
be
was-
somewhat dominant, but I don't know, man.
He's
It's
sex
just-
addict.
No, but kids wise,
Yeah,
they're
he's
talking
a
about kids
fucking-
wise, somebody
yeah.
for their peers.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
For their
yeah,
peers, you know? Chef was more of that's guidance, that black guidance source than a flavor for them. Chef was their
So,
flavor.
I mean, I can't speak. I mean, I'll be honest, my nigga. Outside of Murph and even him, I wouldn't even call a mentor. I didn't have many mentors growing up. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you.
So-
I'm the same way.
I can't speak to like me learning a lot of the shit that I learned from older white men as far as like business,
Yeah.
business and like in regards to business and shit like that, finances. I just a lot of shit I learned. I'm more or less just. I don't want to say it like sound wild enough, but like it really like realistically, you just apply logic to shit.
No,
You know what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
you.
Like you know, like all right, in order for me to get X, I need to either do one or two things: invest and make X, Y, or you got to motherfucking save and make X squared.
Fact.
So it's like
Yeah.
you kind of just apply logic.
gotta
to
figure
just-
it out.
You got to just figure life out, and that's not to take away because I'm pretty sure having those mentors or having those people in your lives to teach y'all about what y'all learned, it definitely puts you guys in a step up because y'all are younger than me and y'all are in positions where y'all are able to do the same things. If
but
not
it's
more
because
than
of people
me.
like you.
You dig what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm
So-
saying. It's because of people like you. Like
I'm not an old white guy though.
you're
Yeah,
not.
I'm just speaking
but
to that aspect.
I know,
It's
but
like,
and then even like people like you as well too, because like right now, like yes, we can say we learned so many things from older white people that put us in positions that we are right now, but to be in our specific position is because of our peers. Our peers is our motivation. Like we surround ourselves with people who are actually doing stuff out here, not people who's just talking about it, not people who's like, oh, let's do this. Like we are past the stage where we're done. We're tired of just talking about it.
Word, man.
Because if
Yeah.
you're around people who's doing something, it forces you to do something because you don't want to be the only person not doing anything in a group of people doing something.
Telling you, my nigga, it's a lonely life, man. I had to. It really took me changing the niggas who I was with every single day. And shout out to all my niggas. I love all my brothers. You dig what I'm saying? But it really took me changing the niggas that was around for me to accomplish a lot of the things that I'm accomplishing
Facts.
now. Being able to be in the position that I am right now because. Like, man, I love my niggas, man, but they are into very different things than I am.
Facts.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
dig what
And
I'm
they're not on the
saying?
Yeah,
same
They live
like
very
page where I
different
want other
lives.
things.
Exactly.
Like Quell
conversa-
is not somebody that I grew up with. He's not like a childhood friend or somebody
yeah.
like that.
We
It's
met
somebody
through
who
a
I
friend.
met along in life because of the things that I was doing.
Yeah.
Word,
Once
word.
I changed what I wanted in life, it started aligning me with the right people. It started putting me in positions with people who actually want to see me grow. Like you said, like there's people who would charge you for just little gems that
Why?
would be beneficial for you, but it's like, bro, we're all out here struggling, yo.
Why? My thing is, I would give you, because all I could give you realistically is just like y'all niggas. You ask me what equipment should y'all
Yeah.
use and what software or hosting sites, et cetera, like how to do little shit like that.
And that's-
This
to me,
is
that's
more so
nothing.
the technical shit. That's little
That's
shit.
nothing.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
You dig
But
what I'm
there's
saying?
people who
I
don't even
will
wanna
give
hold out
all-
on
I
shit
can
like
get
that.
that information to a dozen motherfuckers.
Facts.
I have. It's on you to actually create the
And do
product
it.
and
And do-
actually put the product out there and have people like the product. It's on you to actually
Facts.
create this content. Like
Facts.
I can't build the show for you. You can't come to me and be like, "Yo, I need show ideas."
And you can
Nah,
never
nigga,
create
like,
something. And you
Yeah,
can never
yeah,
create
yeah.
what I
I got
create.
my own shit going on.
Exactly.
So it's like I give niggas the tools all day, but it's on you to actually utilize
Facts.
this shit. You
Yeah.
feel me? That's why I feel like I have no hidden agenda when it comes to like this podcast and shit, or just life in general. Which I guess kind of put, and I guess it puts me in a different like era, different status or whatever the fuck you want to label this shit. Because like realistically, I don't want shit from nobody. I want
That's
you to
facts.
win. I want you to win. I want you to win. I want everybody
'Cause I know
around
I'm
me
gonna
to
win too.
Because I'm
Yeah,
exactly.
facts.
I'm gonna
Everybody
win
gonna win.
regardless. So I don't
Regardless.
care what. Like I, honest to God, like if you hurt, I'm gonna be there. I
Facts.
got you. That's the type of friend I am. But outside of that, my nigga, like I want you to succeed. So if I got keys to a motherfucking
Why
door,
not help you open the
that's gonna
door?
open the door. Why not toss you the keys and fucking have the door open for
Facts.
you, my nigga? Like why hold?
Why
that
watch you
information
struggle
in?
after I've been
Yeah.
struggling after the whole
Fuck,
time?
that's enough out here for niggas. Like we just said it, bruh. It's parts of the world that's undiscovered. It's islands that's free,
Facts.
open that niggas can go buy right the fuck now,
Yeah,
my
facts.
nigga.
Facts.
Enough of that shit.
Cause
dog.
the nigga Virgin
just
Mobile,
there.
the nigga Virgin Mobile, own his own island.
Come on, own his own private planes and he got his own fucking air
Facts.
company. Like
And Virgin
that,
Mobile's
it's
only lit
enough
for a point.
money out there for niggas, my nigga. Why
Just
would
get
I
this
want to
shit.
stop niggas from getting bread, dog? Like I have nothing. I don't want nothing from nobody. I just want niggas to win. That's it.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's just like, but you got other niggas again. Niggas want 150 to do X, Y, and Z.
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying? Or niggas want to charge you fucking $40 just to put you. It would not even just say put you on the information for like say like if I come to you and say, yo, teach me how to do this. If you feel like you need to charge me for that information, fine. Everybody need to get their bread.
Yeah.
I understand that.
I get
definitely
that.
understand. So I don't want to sit up here and be like the holier than thou guy, like, oh, niggas who want to hustle and get their bread by doing X, Y, and Z. You shouldn't do that. Like, if you need to get your money how you want to get it.
Get it.
How you live, my
And if
nigga.
people
Like,
are willing to go
that's
pay
it.
money for the information for it,
Exactly.
who is it? Just because I'm not willing to do it, just means somebody else is
Don't
not
look
willing
at
to
me
do it.
a certain kind of way just because I want to learn. Not to say learn for free because it may be something I want to pay for. It's definitely
Yeah,
a service.
there's
that I
certain
pay
knowledge that's
for.
worth the whatever that
Word.
whatever it takes to get it.
Like it's
I
niggas
think-
who offer classes, who offer X, Y, and Z. My nigga, where it's like, all right, well, shit. If I could pay for it, I'm gonna do it because it's
Facts.
gonna put me in a position to learn some shit. You dig what I'm saying? Especially if it's like, yo, I don't want to put the time in to learn it myself. So I'm definitely not knocking niggas who is doing that aspect of it. You dig
Facts.
what I'm saying? I'm just more so locking the niggas who it's like, yo, you have these. I'm knocking the niggas up top who is like, you have these tools to all of this information, but yet you're not giving it to niggas.
Nobody.
I think if it
Like-
takes, I think if it takes more than like one reply, is chargeable.
No,
Or like one conversation.
like I said,
So
if
if
you
I
feel
hit-
like you have to charge,
Yeah.
charge.
But nah, it's like
Yeah.
you see how he hit you and was like, "Yo, what do I need with this and this and this?" Right? He easily hit you back. Yo,
Yeah.
I started with this.
See, that's
this,
love.
and
That's
that,
a love on a
right?
different level, though. Not
And it's
everybody
like-
have that love.
But that's what
If
I'm
you
saying.
was like,
I have
yo-
that love for, it's random niggas who I haven't spoken to since fucking the 8th grade who hit me up like, yo, bro, I'm starting X, Y, and Z. I'm trying to get some information on how you do this because I see you doing da. I'm like, all right, well, yo, this is what you do.
Right.
That's it. Like,
Yeah.
I just like not on some like, oh, just because I fuck with you my nigga. Like, of course I'm gonna give you information. I'm not gonna hold no information to try to stop you from doing what you got going on or even get to another level. You dig what I'm saying? Because that's, like you said, a different kind of love. But I'm very easily, I give information up freely because easily, my nigga. Just because like it's free, my nigga. Like
Facts.
it's free game that like all the shit I know. I went out and learned and found this information myself. I took the time to go fucking learn this shit.
Facts.
I
I'm
ain't no
sorry to
different
cut
than
you
nobody
off,
else who
man.
know this shit.
Sorry to cut you off, but we like reaching on to like 2 hours.
No word. We about to
so,
run out.
yeah, this
Yeah.
conversation's
Oh,
good, so we have to break this one in for another one.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
so we're gonna
of
bring
course,
this and
of course.
continue this shit. Thank you for coming in, man. I really appreciate that
You
shit.
already know. You already
Facts,
know.
Thank you,
yo.
man.
Thank you for having me. I
Appreciate
appreciate
this
you guys again. Once again, my nigga, I really do appreciate you guys for having me up, man. I love what y'all doing. I love what y'all got going on, man. Keep doing your thing. Stay
Thank you.
consistent, man. That's the most important thing. Consistency. Y'all got the content down. Y'all got the conversation down. Y'all got the personalities down. Just stay consistent on the content, man. Y'all niggas
Facts.
got like the motherfucking, not the moon, fucking stars is like is the
It's
end all be all, my nigga. Like that y'all niggas could go anywhere with this shit, man.
Facts.
And
Appreciate that shit. man.
yo, own your shit. Don't let nobody at
That's funny.
no point.
That's funny.
At
We just had this
no
conversation.
point, my nigga.
We literally just had this conversation.
From me to y'all niggas, I love y'all niggas. At no point come in and take a piece or nothing of what y'all niggas got going on. Own y'all shit from now till forever, cause y'all gonna be able like Amazon was just a book company before it became. Well, it was a
Amazon.
toy store. It was a toy store before it became what it is right now. You dig what I'm saying, my nigga?
Yeah.
So like, just understand, like, don't be the nigga who sold what Amazon was to Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, understand the potential of what y'all niggas got going on over here and maintain that shit, man. Don't sell nothing, not in a piece. Niggas want you. That means they understand what they got,
Exactly.
the product.
Uh-huh.
You dig what I'm saying? And
Yep.
without you, they're not gonna be as successful as they want to be with what they got to create. They could fucking easily recreate what y'all do.
Mm-hmm.
But they can get, you know what I'm saying? They can steal the ingredients, but they can't make the same sauce.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like, that's just what it is. So
Hey, man. And the wise words of Master P, if this white man is willing to pay me $1 million, I'm worth at least 10.
facts, man. Facts of fucking life, dog. So yeah.
Yo, appreciate you, brother.
And one more time, where can they find you?
Oh yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Empire Esco, Twitter's Spaced Out Genius. Man, I'm not gonna hold you, my nigga. I don't be on none of them shits.
So where can they? Honestly,
just
let's just leave it
follow-
at this. Listen to LIFECast Podcast.
Yeah.
Where can we go to listen to that?
You can just find everything you need to find LIFECast Podcast at www.lifecastpodcast.com.
And download that app.
Download the app, Lifers Only app, in the Google Play Store, in the Apple App Store, man. A lot of content coming to that. We actually have we're launching a subscription-based service via the app as well. We're gonna have a few new shows drop on the app via the subscription service. You're not gonna be able to get the shows on Spotify or Pandora or any of those other platforms. You can only get it via the app. You dig what I'm saying? So download the app. We haven't gone through the monthly pricing yet, but we're gonna do something for the lifers, the niggas who already downloaded the app and had the app since day one. Of course, you're going to get that year subscription for free, no pay nothing. You're going to get access to all the shows, et cetera, But everybody else who ain't catch the wave, you got to pay that bread to get that content, man. And trust me, soon, listen, man, when I say own your shit, man, soon we gonna get to the point where you're not even going to be able to get our show because we give y'all niggas 2 to 3 hours a week of free raw content, fucking gems. Yeah, I might only start getting like 20-30 minutes on all these other fucking subscription services. Only get the full show via the subscription service via the app, man. So download the fucking Lifers Only app if you really trying to stay in tune with what King Hoffa got going on, what Mugga got going on, what Fortune got going on, what the whole Life Distributions LLC got going on, what LIFECast Podcast, and all the platforms we got beneath that, man. Shout out to everybody over at Half Court Trap and Avant-Garde Media. That's my brothers over there. Shout out to my peoples over at fucking Truth Hurts Podcast, my niggas over at Blatant Disregard Podcast, you know what I mean? Shout out to all my niggas who really fuck with niggas over here in this podcast and shit. I appreciate you. Shout out to you guys, Weed and Whiskey, my nigga. I really do appreciate that shit, my nigga. Shout out to everybody who fuck with us, my nigga, who show love. Shout out to everybody who show love in this podcast and space serious, man. It's
We love
hard
you,
out
man.
here.
We
It's
love
hard
you
out
all.
We love it, yeah.
We love you all.
Like,
We love
niggas
you
think-
all.
Niggas think these artists is hard to get. It's hard to get fans as an artist. Nah, try being a fucking podcaster,
is.
my nigga.
Try talking.
Real
Yeah.
shit. Try talking. Fuck putting
Yeah.
melodies together on a beat that someone made for you, my nigga. Like,
It is.
try doing this shit, my nigga, for on a consistent basis, man.
It's hard.
Mind
I
you,
love
you
it, though.
like,
I love
you
it,
said
though.
you got a solid 2 hours, and I don't know if you edit your show, cut it down, and
I
condense
have
it,
to
my
go
nigga.
edit all of this. So I try not to go too
you
long with
feel
that
me?
shit.
So you gotta think about the editing time on top
Exactly.
of that. So like this podcast and shit, no joke, man.
We
Real
out
shit
here,
over
man.
here.
Thank you for coming, bro. We appreciate that shit.
You already know.
Now, anyone, follow us, the podcast, on Instagram, Weed and Whiskey, Weed.Whiskey with an E.
Like a white people party.
There we go.
Good night,
Anyways,
ladies and
man,
gentlemen.
have a great one.
Dum-dum-tsh.